Chapter 2062. After walking out of the installation hall, Yi Chen was stopped within 10 steps. "How's the energy gathering device?" A tall dark energy warrior asked Yi Chen. "Everything's fine," Yi Chen said with a smile. Go to the test subjects immediately." "Yes." Yi Chen nodded slightly and left quickly toward the Real laboratory. It was also the main control laboratory that he saw through the demon eye. Walking into the underground test hall, Yi Chen saw countless crystal coffins embedded in the mountain walls. There were all kinds of pipes on them, constantly supplying all kinds of liquids and dark energy. Many of the crystal coffins contained human cultivators, and many of them even had the seal of the flowing cloud sect. "Has the dark energy device been activated?" one of the evil spirit test subjects asked when they saw Yi Chen coming in. I'm afraid it won't be able to be activated for the rest of my life." "What did you say?" The evil spirit test subject was furious. He was powerful enough to suppress Yi Chen. "Ignorant ant, how dare you be so arrogant in front of me?" Whoosh! Yi Chen's eyes flashed, and the 5 tribulation bodiless immortal test subject exploded. After absorbing many dark energy and transforming into various clones, Yi Chen was very familiar with the energy circulation of the evil spirit bodies. As long as they were not on guard, killing these bodiless immortal evil spirits was a piece of cake. "Who are you? How dare you kill an evil spirit test subject? Catch him. He's a spy." Kill. After killing the test subject, Yi Chen's identity was exposed, but there was no need to hide it anymore. Buzz buzz buzz. Yi Chen returned to his true form, holding the Heavenly Emperor's sword in his hand. "You evil beings, how dare you capture a human cultivator for this experiment? You deserve to die." As he swung the Heavenly Emperor's sword, a huge sword shape appeared in the air like a tower that reached the sky, crashing down. Within the space, energy exploded, dragons and tigers roared, and rocks flew everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. As the sword fell, the space trembled and shattered. God knew how many test subjects died on the spot. Before the Heavenly Emperor, all things shall perish. The demon eye appeared between Yi Chen's brows again. The power of the darkness pool behind him erupted wildly. It merged with the power of the Serpent Queen and turned into countless poisonous pythons, destroying the surrounding environment. Roar! With the power of the darkness pool, the Serpent Queen transformed into the 8-headed heavenly serpent and released dark nether energy wildly. Zzz. Wherever the netherworld energy went, not even a blade of grass grew. Everything was destroyed. Countless evil spirit experimenters screamed. They were the most elite researchers in the nether prison headquarters, and they were the evil spirit's most important asset. Today they were all killed by Yi Chen. Ha! Destroy them all! With the Heavenly Emperor's sword in hand, Yi Chen slashed through the universe. Boom, boom, boom. The sword chi whistled in all directions, and the heavenly snake roared furiously and destroyed everything. Tens of thousands of test subjects were all killed. Such a grand killing light instantly attracted the attention of the army command. "Sir, this is bad. A human cultivator has taken over the underground laboratory." "What? A human cultivator? How is that possible?" Chopin roared, but he had no time to deal with the dark warrior before him. He dashed towards the underground lab. He was the main person in charge of this experiment. So. Moving in a flash, Jobrin was like a dragon crossing the river. His powerful might was unstoppable. Many dark spirit warriors around him didn't know what was going on and couldn't dodge in time. They were smashed to pieces on the spot, drenched in blood and separated from flesh. At this moment, Yi Chen was like a god of destruction as he completely destroyed the entire laboratory. Not only did the 8-headed heavenly snake absorb all the evil energy, but all the experimental devices were also destroyed by it. At the same time, hundreds of itinerant immortal evil spirit elite guards were killed by Yi Chen. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. At this moment, evil energy surged and a person descended from the sky. It's Lord Jobran. This is great, this is great. We're saved. Lord Jobran is here. Kill this man. Everyone, retreat and wait for Lord Jobran. The remaining hundreds of dark spirit warriors retreated one after another, creating space for Jobran to descend. Boom, boom, boom. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Jobran descended in rage. The ground trembled and the void was torn apart. The entire environment fell into a violent strangulation. You're the one who destroyed the entire laboratory? Jobran asked while looking at Yi Chen with bloodshot eyes. Ha ha, that's me. What do you think? Yi Chen looked at Jobran and smirked. This person had just been humiliated by him in the square above, and now he came down to die. He would give him a quick death this time. Very well, very well. Today, I'm going to tear you into pieces and devour your heart and lungs. Oh, you're quite ambitious, but you won't have any chance before you die. The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly as he slowly raised the Heavenly Emperor sword in his hand. Kill. Jobran was extremely furious. He did not hesitate at all as he charged at Yi Chen in a frenzy. Only evil energy surged between heaven and earth. Slash. Yi Chen did not show any mercy. He slashed down and shattered all the evil energy instantly. Clang, clang, clang. The forces of both sides clashed and collided continuously in the sky. The shockwaves caused by every collision could kill a loose immortal. With such power, how could the dark spirit warriors dare to approach? They all retreated. Die. Jobran released his territory. Immediately, an incomparably huge tree of evil energy appeared behind him. Kacha, kacha, kacha. The tree kept stirring its trunk. Following that, countless branches grew out and rushed at Yi Chen like giant hands. The entire space was surrounded by this evil tree. Many dark spirit warriors did not even have time to retreat. As long as they were controlled by the evil tree, they would all turn into bloody mist and become nourishment for the evil tree. Ha ha ha, bastard, you can't escape in my evil tree barrier. You're dead. Is that so? You want to stop me with such a useless move? Who gave you the confidence? Dark lightning flashed in Yi Chen's eyes again, and the Heavenly Emperor sword in his hand turned black at the same time. Evil Heavenly Emperor, darkness surge. Holding the sword with both hands, he stirred the wind and clouds. Suddenly, darkness descended and devoured everything. A huge shock appeared and turned into the mouth of a shocking beast, charging at the huge evil tree. What? Impossible! Jobran's heart trembled when he saw this. Could it be that Yi Chen wanted to devour his evil tree? That was impossible. He was very sure that no one could do it. Swoosh! The huge dark light turned into a dragon's mouth and charged at the evil tree. Gradually, the dragon's mouth grew larger and larger, covering the entire evil tree like the sky. This. The evil tree was Jobran's strongest barrier. It was his everything. Once the evil tree was taken, he would become completely useless. Don't even think about it, Jobran roared. His hands grew sharp claws and he charged at Yi Chen. Chapter 2063. A cornered dog will jump over a wall. Ha! Yi Chen laughed out loud. The pool of darkness behind him turned into countless frenzied devouring beasts that charged at Jobran. Ha! Chopalan turned pale with fright. His rage and madness from before had completely vanished. He could sense the powerful nether god's power from the devourer beasts. If there was anyone on this continent that evil spirits feared the most, it would definitely be the nether god's temple. Roar! The three devouring beasts turned into 3 puffs of thick black smoke and charged at Jobran crazily. No, no! Jobran's heart was filled with fear and helplessness. He had even forgotten that he was a true immortal stage cultivator. True immortals were existences who had comprehended the ultimate rules of immortal spells between heaven and earth. Although they lived on the ground, they already had the qualifications to ascend. However, in order to avoid the unpredictable heavenly tribulation, they often did not dare to ascend easily. The underworld god realm was a very special existence. It existed between the earth realm and the heavenly realm. True immortals could move freely here without any restrictions. Therefore, many true immortals hid in the middle realms like the underworld god realm, the primordial immortal world, and the demon martial world. Very few people knew of their existence. However, as long as one entered these middle realms, one would realize that these super powerhouses were not as mysterious as one imagined. Roar! The devouring beast instantly bit Jabran's arms and began to devour his energy crazily. At the same time, the devouring beast in the middle stared at Jabran's head and kept releasing dark energy, seemingly very excited. Ah! Jabran gradually calmed down. With a furious roar, all the immortal power in his body exploded and turned into evil energy. He charged at the devouring beast. Rumble! With a shocking explosion, Jabran's powerful power instantly destroyed the devouring beast. The other two devouring beasts were also sent flying and returned to the pool of darkness's body. Fuse. Humph, I'm a genuine true immortal cultivator. I was almost fooled by you. Jabran snorted coldly as if he wanted to get back at Yi Chen because he was in a sorry state earlier. This was the result of his weak martial will. Although he was at the true immortal stage, his martial will was far from matching the true immortal stage. Therefore, he revealed his true self in the face of Yi Chen's nether god power. Chapalan, this emperor will kill you like a dog. Your dignity is worthless. Stinking brat, you're being stubborn, aren't you? Today, I'm going to wipe you out completely. They were surrounded by evil spirit powerhouses. If Jabalan continued to be suppressed by Yi Chen in this battle, his reputation would be completely shattered. He wanted to regain his dignity and his true immortal aura. Then, he would crush Yi Chen. This was the only way he could regain his confidence. At the same time, Fess and Berenk also arrived. They weren't in a hurry to make a move because they knew that Jabalan didn't want them to make a move. I didn't expect a human brat to suppress Jabaran to such a miserable state. How strange, Faze said with a smile. Berenk did not laugh. He stared at Yi Chen coldly. The darkness pool that Yi Chen had released earlier was extremely violent. The nether deity force contained in it meant that Yi Chen and the nether deity were inextricably linked. There must be a big secret on him. We must capture this man, Berenk said. Berenk, what do you mean? Do you want the enraged Jabalan to spare this brat's life? How is that possible? This isn't something he can decide. Didn't you feel the nether deity force just now? So what? We're in the depths of the nether purgatory. We should also prepare for the upcoming battle. The nether god temple is our ultimate enemy. That's why we must keep this person alive. Only by studying the information on his power can we better understand the nether god tribe. Oh, I understand. Fess nodded slightly. As expected, as the symbol of wisdom among the three leaders, Berenk's thoughts were more meticulous. If Yi Chen really had information on the nether god, then keeping him alive was undoubtedly the best choice. However, I don't think this brat will be killed that easily. Let's see how long he can struggle. How about it? We can watch, but we must not let Jabalan kill him. Don't worry, Berenk. With me here, this person won't die. An amused smile appeared on Feixi's face. He wanted to see what kind of potential Yi Chen could unleash under Jabalan's pressure. Feixi had always been interested in potential, so he was the one who came to this underground hall the most. In the battlefield below, Jabalan released his immortal law and merged it with his evil spirit energy. His aura had greatly increased. Before a true immortal, a Mahayana stage cultivator is like an ant. Mahayana stage? Do you really think I'm still a Mahayana stage cultivator? Suddenly, Yi Chen's lips curled into a sneer. Then, in the sky, muffled thunder rumbled. The majesty of the heavenly Tao manifested boundlessly. What? Jabalan frowned slightly. He felt that this was definitely not man-made lightning. It was truly the heavenly Tao's divine lightning. Could it be that this person wanted to directly release the power of heavenly tribulation and use it to deal with him? Jabalan sneered. Ha ha! Do you think you can scare me away with the divine lightning of ascension? You're too naive, Yi Chen. This method can only scare away those with low cultivation bases. Perhaps in your world, it can scare away people at full Mahayana stage or even top itinerant immortals because they wouldn't dare to let the divine lightning find them. However, I, a true immortal, am absolutely not afraid of this useless lightning. Is that so? Very well, then please have a taste of this divine lightning with me. Yi Chen made up his mind and completely released his foundation. In an instant, the entire space was filled with all kinds of energy. The energy ball in Yi Chen's body exploded. How is this possible? In the blink of an eye, Jabalan felt that his body was filled with several types of energy. How could a person have so many types of energy in his body? How could he believe it? Ordinary people, even genius cultivators, could store 2 types of energy in their body. 3 was the limit of the limit. They could be said to be a genius among geniuses. However, Yi Chen's strength surpassed 3 types. How can you let so much energy circulate in your body? It's impossible for you to maintain your stability. That's your knowledge. My body isn't something you can imagine. Chapter 2064. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In the sky, the heavenly lightning rumbled and pierced through the entire mountain, reaching all the way to the bottom. In the blink of an eye, the mountain peaks in the palace's formation all showed signs of unstable cracks, which made Jabalan feel threatened. There was a large amount of evil energy stored in the mountain. After tens of thousands of experiments, once the space here was disturbed by extreme external forces, it would instantly enter an extremely chaotic state and even collapse on the spot. Jabron, what are you waiting for? Subdue this B** starred now. Fythe shouted from the peak. Shut up. Jabron thought that Fythe's words were an insult to him, so he was instantly enraged. This person is related to the Nether God's power. I don't want to say too much. Subdue him now. Jabron, Fythe is right. You don't have much time left. Fythe and Barank put pressure on Jabron, which made the latter very unhappy. As one of the 3 leaders, he felt that he was being isolated by the other 2. However, if Yi Chen was really related to the Nether God, subduing him would be a great contribution. By then, Jabron, would naturally straighten his back. He turned to look at Yi Chen and said, Ha ha ha, I didn't expect a human cultivator to be related to the Nether God. You've really impressed me. However, this will only make your death worse. The Nether God is a target that our evil spirit clan must eliminate. A lowly ant dares to stand shoulder to shoulder with a god? Jabron, cherish the few seconds you have left. Suddenly, a strange smile appeared at the corner of Yi Chen's lips. It was like the smile of the Grim Reaper, making Jobran's heart skip a beat. However, he soon calmed down. He was a true immortal cultivator, an existence that countless powerhouses looked up to. With such a cultivation base, he was a godlike existence in the human world. Therefore, the person before him should kneel and worship him, yet he dared to mock him like this. It was unbelievable and unforgivable. How dare you call yourself a god in my evil spirit land? Yi Chen, die. Jobran's anger rose from the bottom of his heart, and he became bold. His anger reached its peak. Instantly, the evil tree's power exploded again, wanting to devour Yi Chen. However, he had forgotten how he had failed before. Good timing. Yi Chen smirked inwardly. He had been waiting for this opportunity, waiting for the moment when the Chopperan's evil tree exploded. Source of darkness, devour all things. ZZZ. Behind Yi Chen, the power of the origin of darkness rose once again. Endless dark matter spread throughout the entire space. Countless mountain walls, ground, and even cracks in the rocks were filled with dark matter. Roar! Then, the dark substance turned into a huge mouth of darkness, covering the heavens and destroying the earth. Chi chi chi. The flow of the dark matter was getting faster and faster, and its body was getting bigger and bigger, gradually surpassing Jabberan's control. This. Translator. Atlas Studios editor. Atlas Studios. At the same time, Felix and Barent couldn't sit still anymore. The two leaders looked at each other. They understood that if they did not restrict the flow of the dark matter released by Yi Chen, the entire underground experimental hall would fall into the devouring network of the dark origin. At that time, not only Charbelum but the entire evil spirit headquarters would be implicated. This was because Yi Chen's dark matter had an infinite devouring ability, like a primordial beast that never had its fill. Attack! The two of them flew out and charged at Yi Chen. Ha, let's attack together. Facing the three leaders, Yi Chen sneered. He was not afraid of the might of the Heavenly Emperor. This situation made countless evil spirit powerhouses feel fear, anger, confusion, and various other emotions. They had never seen such a scene before. The dark matter was like a constantly replicating phage, and the evil spirits, as well as various devices and spaces, had all become the bacteria that the phage wanted to devour. They were all high and mighty powerhouses. Who would have thought that one day they would become a tiny life form like bacteria? With the three leaders here, I don't believe we can't subdue this guy. Yes, the three leaders are super powerhouses of the true immortal stage. Their strength is far from what this kid can deal with. We evil spirits are the strongest. Under the powerful suppression of Yi Chen's dark matter, the evil spirits had already lost their minds. They only wanted to use the Psyche victory technique to make up for the damage on their mind. This already showed the characteristics of a weak life form. This was the powerful suppression of the power of the Nether God, making those so-called powerhouses bow their heads. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The dark matter extended endlessly, and the speed of the collision was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, the entire underground experiment hall had collapsed. What are you guys doing here? Seeing Fythe and Barenk making a move, Jabberan was obviously very dissatisfied. He was a true immortal stage cultivator, but he needed the help of the other two leaders to deal with a Mahayana stage cultivator. Was there any need for him to continue being the commander? Cut the crap. This person's strength is far above his cultivation level. Can't you see that he wants to devour the entire evil spirit land? Jabberan, now is not the time to argue. We're only making a move for safety's sake. The dark matter that this person released is the legendary source of darkness. I heard that it's a ball of dark energy left behind by the Nether God that has gained sentience. I didn't expect Yi Chen to obtain it. I can deal with it. Is that so? If you can really deal with it, there's no need for us to make a move. Felix and Barenk threw disdainful gazes at Jabberan, which made the latter even more furious. He didn't care anymore. He wanted to kill his opponent with his own hands. Only by doing so could he wash away his humiliation. Evil Tree Fusion. It was a forbidden technique. Jabberan had merged with the Evil Tree and was going to fight the dark substance that Yi Chen controlled. Boom! Choppelin's body completely fused with the Evil Tree, and his huge face appeared on the trunk of the tree. Ah! His coarse laughter echoed throughout the space. Even the evil spirit powerhouses were shocked to see Jabberan in such a state. They never expected Jabberan to have such a forbidden technique. Yi Chen, let the Evil Tree King end your life now. Pray, Hunter, did you really see it clearly? I don't need to see clearly. As long as I eat you, I will be the winner. In the end, you still can't see clearly. Just when Jabberan was about to open his mouth to devour Yi Chen, he suddenly saw an extremely majestic silhouette on the ground. It was as if the entire world was collapsing. Not good. Jabalan dodge. What? Seeing the exaggerated expressions of Faith and Barenk, Jabrin didn't know what was going on. However, a gigantic mouth that could devour a mountain fell from the sky and plunged him into endless darkness. Chapter 2065. The gigantic shadow slowly engulfed Jabrin. The latter could already feel the coldness that seeped into his soul. A primordial beast was standing behind him with its bloody mouth wide open. The scene that he had imagined was unavoidable. His heart was still indescribable. Despair, pain, and unwillingness were all brewing. Jabrin, Faith and Barenk were shocked. At this moment, the source of darkness had evolved into the ultimate fear of the unknown. Swish! The gigantic beast's mouth devoured the people beneath it. As the shadow passed by, there was no life left. Everything was over. Jabrin's figure had already disappeared. Following that, the evil tree rapidly withered. Its energy had been completely absorbed by the source of darkness. The entire space was constantly flowing with dark matter. This dark matter was frantically sucking on the walls and drilling into the earth veins. In any case, as long as it was a space, it would be occupied. This kind of greed and devouring nature shocked everyone. A perfected immortal, a person who has comprehended a worldly immortal art, has been devoured. No one knew who said this. At this moment, everyone finally reacted. Their commander, one of the three leaders, Jabrin, had completely disappeared. As it absorbed Jabrin's energy, the source of darkness roared continuously. Its entire body's form kept changing, and all kinds of terrifying scenes caused many evil spirit experts present to fall into a terrifying state of consciousness. The power of darkness corroded their brains. Their legs went weak, and they kept kneeling on the ground. Then, they started worshipping. Source of darkness, accept our worship. Many itinerant immortals even lost their consciousness. They were completely controlled by the source of darkness's dark power and recognized him as their true lord. Yichen floated above the source of darkness's head and accepted everyone's worship. He was now the king of these people. All of you, get up! Fei Si roared in anger. As one of the three leaders, how could he allow his subordinates to bow to a human? Don't be bewitched by this dark power. It's all fake. Barenk shouted at the same time. Everything had gone out of control. As the highest commanders of the army, their minds had also gone crazy. The corrosion of this dark energy not only caused their bodies to lose their battle prowess, but it also caused them to go crazy. No matter how strong one's foundation was or how high one's cultivation base was, in such a state of madness, one would definitely lose their ability to think and act calmly. Resisting the celestial dharch will only result in death. The majestic and heavy voice of darkness drove the worshippers even more crazy. They kowtowed continuously, their faces covered in blood. Felix and Barenk were, after all, true immortal realm cultivators. Their martial will and mental energy were both extremely powerful. Their eyes emitted evil energy, activating the evil energy formation buried deep in the earth veins of the headquarters, forcefully capturing those evil spirit experts and throwing them out of the underground experimental hall. Yi Chun, you bastard! You want to bewitch the evil spirit tribe? You deserve to die. Don't think that your source of darkness is strong. Before the demonic energy array, you are nothing. Jabalin's death had a huge impact on Faith and Barenk. They didn't care what Yi Chen's cultivation base was. They wanted to join hands and crush him. The evil spirit powerhouses that were thrown out of the underground experiment hall gradually regained consciousness. They looked at the scene in the experiment hall from afar with lingering fear. Yi Chen is too dangerous. I completely lost myself just now. That's right. We're also in the itinerant immortal realm. I didn't expect to fall in the hands of a Mahayana realm cultivator. Where did this person come from? Even Commander Jabalan isn't his match. It's inevitable that we'll fall. Although they had escaped the control of the source of darkness, The fear they had for Yi Chen was still deeply buried in their hearts. It was like an unforgettable mark. Apart from worshipping the evil god, only Yi Chen could make them so crazy. 3,000 feet underground, Yi Chen floated high above the source of darkness. The surrounding dark matter continued to extend as if there was no limit. Felix and Berenk looked at each other. They would not be like Jobalan and give Yi Chen a chance to devour. They directly activated their abilities. With the support of the evil spirit array in the earth veins, the power of their abilities rose to another level. The two of them released their true immortal energy at the same time. This energy was far above that of an itinerant immortal. It was a different kind of energy. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Sparks flew in the surrounding space, and everything was changing rapidly. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The extension of the dark matter was affected by the powerful evil energy and began to show signs of wretchedness. Felix, Berenk, you dare to attack me? Only death awaits you. Ha ha, Yi Chen, do you really have the ability to call yourself an emperor? We're not Jobalan and won't fall into your trap. We'll use the evil spirit array to devour you completely and turn you and the source of darkness into nourishment for the array. Yes, let's also have a taste of being devoured, Berenk ordered. Suddenly, the entire space in the headquarters shook. Then, countless evil energy erupted from the earth veins. It was the evil spirit array. Rumble. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Countless cracks appeared on the ground. A vast amount of evil energy began to penetrate the earth veins, turning into a giant python that covered the sky and coiled toward the source of darkness. The massive evil energy spell formation began to morph into a gargantuan three-headed python. It was the symbol of the three leaders. But now that Jobalan had been killed, only Felix and Berenk had ascended and stood above the other two. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, such a grand evil energy python must be more oppressive than your source of darkness, right? In our eyes, you're still an ant-like existence. You want to fight against us? Dream on. The two mobilized the laws of immortal spells and unleashed their foundation. The evil energy was strengthened by the laws of immortal spells, and its power increased rapidly. Then, it fused with the evil spirit array and controlled the entire space. Roar. The three-headed python roared wildly and spat out countless amounts of poison at Yi Chen. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Wherever the poison touched, even the hardest rock would quickly corrode and turn into powder. Ha ha, you're dead. Seeing this scene, Berenk and Felix revealed a sinister smile. As long as one was corroded by the poison, no matter how strong one would be destroyed. Just when the two were feeling smug, suddenly, 10 meters in front of Yi Chen, countless amounts of dark matter turned into a wall of darkness, instantly blocking the corrosive poison. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The poison began to corrode the wall of darkness, and gradually, a hole appeared on the wall of darkness. See that? There's nothing that can stop the poison. Yi Chen, you're done for. The two continued to stimulate the three-headed python's power. As the evil energy poured in, the three-headed python seemed to have no limits as it crazily spewed poison. Yi Chen was in an extremely dangerous situation. Chapter 2066. Seeing a large amount of dark matter being corroded by the poison, Yi Chen's eyes narrowed and he did something shocking. Ah! With a cold shout, Yi Chen merged with the dark matter and turned into the Dark Lord Hades again. I don't care what you turn into, you must die. Fythe and Berenk frantically activated the laws of immortal force, pushing the dark energy to its peak. The three-headed python bit and spat out poison. The poison became denser and denser, finally turning into a poisonous mist and venom. All of it rushed toward Yi Chen. Yi Chen's body was covered by the dark matter and turned into a giant. Ancient God Power. Activating the Ancient God Power, Yi Chen's Ancient God Power merged with the dark matter. His immunity to poison was directly transmitted to the origin of darkness. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Countless amounts of poison began to corrode Yi Chen's body. However, the invincible ancient god power could not penetrate the dark armor at all. "Faith, Barank, how do you feel now?" Yi Chen locked his cold eyes on the two and shouted. "How is this possible?" The two were shocked. The poison spewed by the three-headed python was 100 times, 1,000 times stronger than before, but it could not harm Yi Chen at all. Even the dark matter was immune to the poison. He did not know that this was the effect of the ancient god power. "Now it's my turn." The dark sword behind Yi Chen suddenly flew up. Evil Emperor Slash. The heavenly Emperor sword transformed into the evil Emperor sword and cut through the sky. Rumble. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Everyone, everything, and everything that stood in the way of the evil sword was annihilated. The origin of darkness wrapped around the evil sword. It was strange, evil, and indescribable. What exactly are you?" Faith and Barank finally understood Jabrin's fear. Although they were true immortals, they were like ants before Yi Chen. It was impossible for them to understand that the power contained in Yi Chen's body surpassed the laws of nature and boundaries. Moreover, Yi Chen's talent with the heavenly emperor body was beyond their imagination. Ah! The evil emperor's eyes emitted blood-red lightning, his killing intent rising. "Devour!" With a command, a dark mouth grew on the evil sword. Then, countless amounts of dark matter turned into terrifying devourers and rushed toward Faith and Barank. "Go!" The two of them commanded the three pythons to charge forward. So. The devourer's figure was extremely fast, transforming into all kinds of dark light as it sped away. In the blink of an eye, it was covered in the three-headed python's fist radiance. Kacha, kacha, kacha. His sharp fangs tore at the three-headed python in a frenzy. In less than a moment, not even its bones were left. Ah! Looking at this scene, even Faith and Barank were stunned. The evil energy formation of their nether prison headquarters was actually devoured by Yi Chen. Obviously, Yi Chen's devouring power wasn't something they could resist. Work together. The two of them had nowhere to retreat, so they could only join hands. Such a scene had already plunged the evil spirit powerhouses, who were watching from the outside, into despair. The two true immortal leaders have to join forces to fight Yi Chen. Don't you guys understand? Even if they join forces, they're no match for Yi Chen. Just what is going on here? Aren't true immortals invincible existences? It seems like being invincible against Yi Chen is nothing. All the evil spirit powerhouses once again recalled the memory of worshipping the origin of darkness in the underground hall. These memories made them feel pain, sorrow, and fear at the same time. They seemed to be gradually eroded by Yi Chen's power, completely falling into his hands. All kinds of mental attacks and the pressure from the evil heavenly emperor's supreme might below. They gradually lost themselves. "Evil God, grant me power." The two leaders sacrificed their own blood, hoping to obtain the evil god's power. In front of the Dark Lord, even gods are useless. The Dark Lord erupted with supreme might, his eyes filled with murderous intent. It was as if the gates of hell had opened behind him. Accept the Nether King's judgment. The Dark Lord, the Nether King, wielded the evil sword and absorbed endless darkness energy. It had already surpassed the 3 realms and 6 paths. They continued to sacrifice their own blood, but it was meaningless. The evil god still gave up on them. In the eyes of the evil god, Faith and Barank were just ants. So what if they died? No. The two of them wailed in pain, completely losing their dignity. They knelt before Yi Chen, sincerely kneeling on the ground. "The evil god won't give up on us. We're devout believers of the evil god. No one can kill us." Yi Chen smirked as he looked at the two people who were close to madness. "The evil god cares about the lives of 2 ants? Your value has been used up. You're no different from dead people after losing to me. You've lost your dignity and don't even have the courage to commit suicide. I'll help you." Yi Chen was even more furious when he saw the two people who were like mud still trying to survive. They were no longer worthy of being cultivators. Nether King's blood severance, slash. The evil heavenly sword suddenly shone with a dark starlight. Subsequently, the demon eye between Yi Chen's brows transformed into the Nether King's hexagram. It flew out and imprinted on the sword gleam. Swish, swish. One sword gleam, 2 slashes, and 2 souls were severed in one strike. They did not have time to scream or see everything clearly. All they could do was leave behind their most terrified and despairing eyes as their heads rolled off. The two leaders are both dead. The evil spirit powerhouse's incredulous gazes and cries came from above. They looked at everything that happened in the experiment hall below and were clearly completely stunned. Those itinerant immortal powerhouses could not even move. They looked at Yi Chen as if they had seen the evil god and knelt down. Rumble! Yi Chen's body suddenly soared. The Dark Lord, the Nether King, dominated the ages. The Dark Lord's might, the Nether King's judgment. Countless evil spirit powerhouses were completely controlled by the Dark Force. They kowtowed to Yi Chen continuously. Their minds had already belonged to the Dark Lord, and they had all become Yi Chen's slaves. I've already accepted your devout hearts. This place will be rebuilt as the Dark Lord's underworld hall. Yes, we accept your orders. A peak itinerant immortal evil spirit stepped forward to accept the Dark Lord's orders. Clang! Yi Chen pointed with a sword finger, and a Nether King's seal was imprinted between the powerhouse's brows. From now on, if they dared to betray the Nether King, their heads would explode, and blood would splatter everywhere. I appoint you as the commander of this place. Report all information to me directly. Yes, sir. The powerhouse knelt and kowtowed. Following that, all the evil spirits knelt and worshipped Yi Chen. Rumble! Yi Chen stomped on the ground and flew into the sky. His huge body was like a demon god descending to the world. He surrounded the world and shook the 4 seas. In an instant, the battle energy in this place erupted and spread the news of the battle. Soon, the news of Yi Chen single-handedly destroying the evil spirit Nether Prison headquarters spread throughout the Nether Prison continent. Yi Chen's name was like a miracle, praised by everyone. Chapter 2067. Nether Prison's 10th Hall. Was it really Yi Chen who destroyed the evil spirit headquarters in the Nether Prison continent? In the main hall, a tall cultivator in embroidered robes walked forward and asked anxiously, 10th Palace Master, it's really Yi Chen. Looks like the information we received from the Netherworld realm is true. This person is very extraordinary. We must find him before the other palaces find him. Don't worry. Our 10th Divine Hall has sent out tens of times more troops than the other halls. We'll definitely be able to find Senior Yi. Very well, let's go. The expert nodded slightly and quickly left the hall. In the main hall, many combatants began to discuss. Previously, they had been suspicious of Yi Chen. However, they saw that the people from the 9th Palace had directly notified the Flowing Cloud sect and asked them to pay attention to Yi Chen's existence. Now that Yi Chen had defeated the evil spirits, this was a feat that they could not ignore. Under such circumstances, the Nightmare Hall had to act decisively. Only by finding Yi Chen in advance would they have a chance to make a name for themselves. Hall Master, we've made ample preparations this time. There won't be any problems, an elder said. Even so, the news of Yi Chen's victory over the evil spirit Nether Prison's headquarters has spread. I believe that the 10 Temple Masters must be looking for his whereabouts. We may not be able to win. Don't worry, Palace Master. I believe that Yi Chen has stayed in the Flowing Cloud sect before. Perhaps we can find some clues from them. Go to the Sky Cloud Martial School immediately and look for clues. Yes. The elder bowed slightly and then quickly disappeared. Within the main hall of the Flowing Cloud sect. I didn't expect Senior Yi to single-handedly wipe out the entire evil spirit headquarters. Who can match this kind of power? I think even the Lord of the 10 Nether Prison Palaces can't do it. The Supreme Elder sat on the high seat, his face flushed red as he spoke to the crowd. Supreme Elder is indeed knowledgeable. You have long seen that this person is extraordinary. Why don't we immediately recommend Senior Yi to the Nether Prison? Perhaps it will have some effect. Alas, Senior Yi is now on his way to Nether Prison. I wonder where he is now? Just as everyone was feeling melancholy, a Sky Cloud Martial School expert suddenly came in to report. Reporting to Supreme Elder, a Nether Prison messenger is here. What? Hurry up and invite them in. Hearing that it was a Nether Prison messenger, the Supreme Elder immediately stood up and led the crowd to welcome him. Duh. Everyone came out of the palace and saw an old man dressed in a black robe. Netherworld energy surrounded his body, and he looked very dignified. On behalf of the Sky Cloud sect, we welcome Lord Envoy. Ha, get up. The old man landed on the ground and said, I'm Elder He Yun of the 10th Nether Prison Palace. I've come for Yi Chen. Senior Yi? Hearing this name, everyone was excited. Indeed, did this person come to your Sky Cloud Martial School? Reporting to the envoy, that is indeed the case. Why don't we enter the main hall to discuss in detail? There's no need. Let's talk here. I'm pressed for time. Yes. The Supreme Elder stepped forward and bowed slightly, then said, This person has come to our Flowing Cloud sect. I think he is a hidden powerhouse, and ordinary people can't see through him. On behalf of the Flowing Cloud sect, we welcome this senior. I didn't expect this senior to be such an expert. He single-handedly destroyed the entire evil spirit headquarters. It is a miracle. I know all of this. Tell me something useful. Did the 9th Palace of Nether Prison ask you to entertain Yi Chen? That's right. A messenger from the 9th Divine Hall has come to inform us. When Yi Chen left, did you have any communication? We offered the map of Nether Prison to Senior Yi. The map of Nether Prison? To the 9th Palace? That's right. B** starred. Heiyun was furious. The Flowing Cloud sect's Supreme Elder and the others knelt on the ground, not daring to raise their heads. It's a waste of time talking nonsense with you. In the future, the Flowing Cloud sect will be managed by the 10th Palace. You must not listen to any other orders. Moreover, if there is any information, inform the 10th Palace immediately, understand? Rest assured, Envoy. We will obey your orders. Get up. With that, Heiyun flew out and sped toward the Nether Prison. After he left, the Supreme Elder and the others stood up and shook their heads continuously. Supreme Elder, why is that? Why? Can't you tell? It's obvious that the 10 palaces are fighting for Senior Yi. We're stuck between these forces and it's very painful. Go back. Yes. Everyone returned to the main hall. Elder Heiyun used his profound movement technique and followed the route of the 10th palace to quickly find Yi Chen's whereabouts. At this moment, Yi Chen had destroyed the evil spirit headquarters in the Nether Prison continent and was heading toward the 9th palace according to the map. Halfway there, he suddenly sensed a powerful array formation fluctuation ahead. This is? Yi Chen flew up and hid among the ancient trees, flashing and leaping. In an empty plain in front of him, a few cultivators were facing each other. Idiot, your 10th palace is the weakest of the 10 Nether Prison palaces. It's ridiculous to compare yourself to our 9th palace. Don't be so arrogant. If you can beat me, I'll naturally submit to you. Alright, since you don't know what's good for you, don't go easy on me. The two powerhouses glared at each other fiercely. It was obvious that they were very hostile. Seeing this, Yi Chen sneered in his heart. He did not expect there to be such a grudge between the 10 Nether Prison palaces. He thought to himself, let's see who's more powerful between the 9th and 10th palaces before deciding which one to go to. On the battlefield, the person who attacked from the 10th palace was a young man. He looked like he was 18 or 19 years old, and was still a little immature. However, Yi Chen knew very well that this was the cultivation world. This person's age was definitely not as simple as he looked. The person who attacked from the ninth palace was a thin man with a sinister face. His fingers were like sharp claws, and he looked very fierce. The two of them stood in the formation. This formation was a trapping formation. After entering it, one could not come out at will, forming a battlefield. Yi Chen took out a few supreme-grade Ming stones as snack. He sat on the ancient tree, but no one noticed him. At this moment, on the battlefield, the thin man was the first to move. Ming Xian, I'll make you my food this time. Let me see what's the difference between your flesh and those mystical beasts? Or should I say that there's no difference? Then I'll be able to enjoy myself. Lungjiu, you'd better go back to your black rainforest. You don't deserve to be human. Hee, that's right. I don't want to be a good person either. However, I'll eat you first. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Lingjiu's figure moved in an instant, turning into a ray of cold light that directly entered the black rainforest. Following that, the surrounding space rapidly darkened, and all light was lost. Yi Chen glanced sideways slightly. It was his first time seeing such a barrier. It was quite interesting. Chapter 2068. Lungjiu's figure gradually blurred, and the surrounding formation actually began to expand. This was clearly an advantage for Lungjiu, which was to allow Lingjiu to move as far as possible within a wide range, causing Ming Xian's senses to miss. Yi Chen despised this kind of behavior. He did not expect these kids to start playing tricks in a fight. However, he did not make a move immediately. He wanted to use their battle to derive the divine abilities and secret techniques of the 9th and 10th divine halls. The battle between the two of them officially began. Lungjiu had the geographical advantage, but Ming Xian was as steady as Mount Tai, as if he had a card up his sleeve. All sorts of information from the battlefield entered Yi Chen's eyes. From Lungjiu's movement technique, he could tell that the 9th palace might be related to mystical beasts. From the strength of Ming Xian's psyche power, he could tell that the 10th palace might be adept at psychological warfare. It was a psyche power technique. Kill! Lingjiu's eyes shone with a blood-red light. His figure was like a phantom and his speed was so fast that he couldn't even blink. Ming Xian actually closed his eyes and used his mental strength to lock onto Lingjiu's position. Such a marvelous technique amazed everyone present. This Ming Xian is courting death. Just watch, senior brother Lingjiu will deal with him soon. Haha, of course. The people from the 9th Divine Hall started to mock them, but the people from the 10th Divine Hall were relatively calm. Lingjiu's killing shadow appeared and went straight for Ming Xian's vitals. At this moment, Ming Xian suddenly opened his eyes, and waves of mental power rushed straight at Lingjiu's mind. Impossible! Lingjiu felt that everything in front of him was chaotic. He couldn't see anything at all. Even Ming Xian's aura had disappeared. Bright moon palm. Boom! With a loud bang, Lingjiu's figure was directly slapped 10 feet away, and he fell to the ground in pain. Okay. The people of the 10th Divine Hall all cheered, which instantly incited the anger of the people of the 9th Divine Hall. All of their eyes were bloodshot and ferocious, as if they were evil spirits. Whoosh! At this moment, an old man descended and stopped everyone from fighting. What are you all doing? Killing each other? Elder Heiyun, the members of the 9th Divine Hall have gone too far. They've bullied our 10th Divine Hall many times, and now that we've lost the battle, they actually want to act violently. Right, the people from the 9th Palace are too rude, they deserve to die. Many people from the 10th Hall stepped forward and said, Don't say any more. I don't have time to bother with you all. Disperse. Disperse? Senior brother Lingjiu, you're leaving just like that? An expert from the 9th Palace stepped forward and said coldly. Heiyun looked at that person coldly. It was the thorn of the 9th Divine Hall, Ice Wolf. How dare you be so rude in front of me? Ha ha, the people of the 9th Palace are like that. So what? At this moment, a burst of maniacal laughter rang out. Everyone looked over and saw a middle-aged man with dark skin like charcoal descending. This person was the elder of the 9th Divine Hall, Black Tiger. Ice Cold was his disciple. Seeing this scene, he wanted to stand up for his disciple. For a moment, the atmosphere was tense. Seeing this scene, Yi Chen gained a basic understanding of the 9th Palace and the 10th Palace. It seemed that the people of the 9th Palace were used to being domineering. A disciple could be rude to an elder. Such a thing was rare. Yi Chen exhaled. In less than 15 minutes, Yi Chen had finished absorbing the clear stone that even a peak itinerant immortal would need to absorb for 3 months. Black Tiger, don't be unreasonable. Hey Yun, do I need to reason with you in my territory? He walked to the front and looked at the people of the 10th Palace with a cold smile. I think this battle is very disadvantageous to us. What did you say? The people of the 10th Palace revealed expressions of anger. This battle was clearly disadvantageous to the 10th Palace, but Black Tiger was twisting the facts. Who can testify for you? We can all testify. Many combatants of the 10th Palace came out and shouted. Ha ha ha, you can testify for yourself. I'm dying of laughter. No one can testify. Since you're in my territory, you must do as I say. Otherwise, die. You! Elder He Yun was also angry. He did not expect the 9th Palace to be so arrogant. I can testify. Suddenly, a voice rang out in everyone's ears. Following that, a young man jumped down from the ancient tree and landed lightly on the ground, dissipating. Who are you? Black Tiger and He Yun were shocked at the same time. It was not because Yi Chen had done anything, but because he had not done anything. Both of them were supreme combatants close to true immortal stage. According to their sensing abilities, if someone was so close to them, it was impossible for them not to notice. However, earlier they did not feel anything at all. The person in front of them was just a Mahayana stage cultivator. Was this not too much? Who I am isn't important. What's important is that I saw everything. Yi Chen told them everything he had seen. Instantly, the people of the 9th Palace were united against a common enemy. Be ****, you're seeking death. Devour this brat. Many combatants of the 9th Palace glared at Yi Chen fiercely. Yi Chen suddenly looked at the combatants of the 9th Palace with a pair of cold eyes. Instantly, his mind energy swept through the entire place. The disciples of the 9th Palace widened their eyes as if they were possessed. They knelt before Yi Chen, prostrating and kowtowing like ants. What are you doing? Black Tiger was instantly enraged. As a member of the 9th Palace, how could he tolerate such cowardice? However, what he didn't know was that even he would be greatly shocked by what those experts had seen. Elder He Yun frowned slightly. He kept thinking, first of all, this is the way to the 10th Palace. Second, this person is a young man, and he's really young. It's clear that his talent is peerless. Third, this person's aura is like a god descending to the mortal world, insufferably arrogant. With these 3 clues, didn't they match up with a certain someone? Thinking of this, Elder He Yun was overjoyed. Originally, this mission was to compete with the other 9th Palaces for Yi Chen. How could they be so lucky to meet him? Moreover, he seemed to be on their side. Black Tiger, do you admit to treating this senior so rudely? Elder He Yun stepped forward and scolded. He Yun, what did you say? Black Tiger was dumbfounded and angry at the same time. He was someone who was close to true immortal stage, the same generation as He Yun. Yet, He Yun called the person before him senior. Did he have to call him senior too? D***MNU. In a rage, Black Tiger suddenly attacked Yi Chen. This was what He Yun wanted to see. He shouted angrily, Black Tiger, you can't afford to offend this person. Stop right now. Ha ha ha, I can't afford to offend him? Hey Yun, I think there's something wrong with your head. Who knows where this stinking brat came from, and he's even a human. In our underworld prison, humans are the lowest race, ha ha ha. Hearing this, Yi Chen raised his head high and looked coldly at the person before him. Who could withstand the wrath of a heavenly emperor? Chapter 2069. Human, a lowly race? Ha! Yi Chen's cold eyes locked onto Black Tiger. It was as if a world of ice had descended upon the mortal world. Black Tiger was initially arrogant, but at this moment, he instantly felt a chill that penetrated the depths of his soul. This chill carried boundless murderous intent. It was as if he was looking at a towering giant standing before him. He could not resist at all. This is impossible, he muttered to himself instinctively. Elder He Yun was equally shocked. Although he did not sense Yi Chen's psyche suppression directed at him, he could tell from the expression on Black Tiger's face and the invisible pressure in the air that Elder He Yun had fallen into a state of absolute suppression. Who are you? I'm just an ordinary human cultivator. Now, I'd like to ask you, why is the human clan a lowly race? Yi Chen's voice was like a blade of ice that pierced into Black Tiger's heart. This Black Tiger could not understand how a Mahayana stage person could suppress a half-step true immortal like him. This was absolutely illogical. For his own pride, he had to retaliate. Be **starred. You want to flaunt your power in front of me? Die. Black Tiger. Heiyun wanted to stop him, but it was too late. In this situation, no one could stop Black Tiger. The corner of Yi Chen's lips curled up slightly and an invisible killing intent appeared in his eyes. In an instant, the environment before him fell into the ancient god territory. Black Tiger's every move was clearly under Yi Chen's control. Kill. Black Tiger steals heart. Black Tiger was clearly still brooding over being intimidated by Yi Chen. This time, he wanted to kill. Only by killing the person before him could he walk out of this humiliation. However, he did not expect that before the Heavenly Emperor, he was like a weak rabbit instead of a ferocious tiger. Clang! Just when Black Tiger wanted to rely on his strong foundation to suppress Yi Chen and kill him directly, he found that his sharp claws had been grabbed by fingers that were like steel pincers. He used all his foundation to break through, but he failed. The moment he failed, he understood that the person before him was completely different from what he had imagined. This person's strength was far above him. Yi Chen must have hidden his cultivation base and was pretending to be weak. In reality, Yi Chen did not hide it at all. He was really at the Mahayana stage, even though the breakthrough was right before him. Kill. Just when Yi Chen was about to kill Black Tiger, several blood-colored chains suddenly appeared in the sky and rushed toward Yi Chen's neck. HM? Yi Chen looked at the sky coldly and flew away. Clang, clang, clang. The chain was like a steel spear. It stabbed into the rock and shattered several peaks. Ha ha, since when has the 9th palace been looked down upon? Ha ha ha, since when has the 9th palace been looked down upon? There's no need to explain anything to a dead person. 3 people appeared in front of He Hu. They were the 3 protectors of the 9th Divine Hall. 3 great protectors, you're here. This is great. Black Chen, black, Yun said. Chen as you, black as said, Tiger Black Chen. The 3 guardians are all beginner-level true immortals. In that case, even Yi Chen doesn't have the confidence to win, right? I he as long as. Black Cloud knew that Yi Chen was more than enough to deal with Black Tiger alone. However, facing Black Tiger and the 3 true immortals at the same time was too difficult. Even if Yi Chen was a true immortal, it would be useless, much less someone at the Mahayana stage. Elder He Yun was extremely anxious in his heart. After all, he had come here with a mission. Everyone, this is a misunderstanding. This person is a friend of the 10th palace. Why don't you let me take him away for the sake of the 10th Palace Master? He quickly stepped forward and bowed. What? Ah! Hearing this, the three true immortals laughed at the same time, as if they were watching a clown perform acrobatics before them. Let you take him away? Black Cloud, are you an idiot? Black Tiger rushed forward aggressively. He had completely forgotten the lesson he had been taught earlier. Black Tiger, I'm here on the orders of the Palace Master to take him away. Palace Master? Idiot. What's the relationship between the 9th Palace Master and us? With the support of the three true immortals, Black Tiger became arrogant and did not care about anything else. Behind him, the three true immortals thought that Black Tiger was boosting the 9th Palace's reputation, so they did not say anything and just watched. Fellow cultivator, why don't you leave first? I'll handle this. Black Cloud was certain that the person before him was Yi Chen. As long as he completed this mission, he would have a great merit. As an elder of the 10th Palace, even if the 4 people before him had a problem with him, they would not kill him easily. His chances of survival were still very high, so he was taking a gamble. What's your name? Fellow cultivator, my name is Black Cloud. I'm an elder of the 10th Palace. Leave with these disciples and I'll handle this. No need. Hearing Yi Chen's words, Black Cloud's heart trembled. He thought to himself, is this person really going up against 3 true immortals and a peak itinerant immortal? If that was the case, this person's arrogance was boundless. Was he really that senior Yi Chen? Black Cloud, what are you talking about with him? Don't even think about taking him away. Black Tiger scolded angrily. Thud, thud, thud. At this moment, Yi Chen turned around and walked toward fierce Black Tiger and the others. Fellow cultivator, do you really want to do this? Faced with Black Cloud's question, Yi Chen did not respond. His actions had proven everything. There was no need for such nonsense. Black Cloud shook his head slightly. He believed that even if the person before him was Yi Chen, he would not be able to fight against the 4 powerhouses of the 9th Palace. He could only sigh. The disciples of the 10th Hall at the back had looks of pity on their faces as well. After all, they did not have the courage to fight against the 10th Hall head-on. That aura alone was enough to make them feel deep respect for the cultivator before them. Hee brat, today will be the day you die. Faced with Black Tiger's threat, Yi Chen did not respond. Instead, his cold eyes locked onto the 4 people before him. Since they wanted to cause trouble, then he would make their deaths more meaningful. How about all 4 of you come at me together? What? The 4 powerhouses were enraged, especially the 3 guardians behind them. They were all true immortals. In any low-level dimension, they would be at the level of an ancestor. Now, Yi Chen wanted all 4 of them to come at him together. How could they look down on him and his group? Black Tiger, kill him. Yes, this is a good chance for you to regain your dignity. Kill. The 3 protectors shouted at Black Tiger. Previously, Black Tiger had a preliminary understanding of Yi Chen's strength. Yi Chen was definitely above him. Was he not going to die? Seeing that Black Tiger did not move and revealed a timid expression, the 3 guardians were furious at the same time. D***eminent. Chapter 2070. Boom. One of the guardians struck with his palm. His target was not Yi Chen but Black Tiger. With a scream, Black Tiger fell to the ground in agony. Guardian. Black Tiger's face contorted in pain, as if he was begging the guardian for mercy. Black Tiger, you're a half-step true immortal, but you're so afraid of this person. You've really opened our eyes. That's right, Black Tiger. Are you an idiot? Attack now. Don't worry, we'll protect you later. The 3 guardians spoke at the same time. Black Tiger understood that he had to attack even if he did not want to. If that was the case, he would use his strongest power. Even if he could not severely injure Yi Chen, he could at least save his life. Black Tiger flew up. Underworld energy gathered in his body as he performed immortal techniques. Buzz, buzz. Around him, the underworld tiger appeared and aimed at Yi Chen. Ha, I asked all of you to attack together and you're wasting time. Then I'll deal with you first, trash. Yi Chen sneered. Facing Black Tiger's energy gathering, he did not even intend to take it seriously. Such humiliation was not only to Black Tiger but also to the entire Ninth Palace. The three guardians glared at him coldly. They did not understand why the person before them was so arrogant. He dared to speak to the three of them like that. Was it really because of the 10th Palace's protection? The three of them looked at each other and nodded slightly. They did not care if Yi Chen was so arrogant because of the 10th Palace's support. Today, he must die. Black Tiger, what are you waiting for? Kill him. Yes. Black Tiger had no choice but to use everything he had learned in his life, because he knew very well that this attack could be the difference between life and death. Tiger form, Overlord Fist. Roar! Underworld energy gathered and the tiger roared in the forest. The surrounding space was swept up in a violent gale. The ground shook and mountains and rivers flowed in reverse. The power of a half-step true immortal was displayed without a doubt. Retreat! Black Cloud shouted to the disciples behind him. Yes, Ming Xian led the others to retreat. They knew very well the power of a full-force attack from an elder-level cultivator. Even the shockwave was enough to kill them instantly. Ling Jiao and the other disciples of the Ninth Palace revealed sinister expressions. Yi Chen had ruined their plans earlier. Now, they would let him die in the hands of Elder Black Tiger. Kill him! They continued to shout and strengthen their voices, but only Black Tiger himself knew that he was very weak now. Ha, your spirit is so weak. Black Tiger, you really disappoint me. Cut the crap. Die. Black Tiger braced himself and rushed forward. His strongest punch exploded. Dong, dong, dong. Just as the tiger-shaped fist light was about to devour everything in front of it, a violent gust of wind swept through the area, and dozens of 3-foot-deep pits appeared on the ground. Everyone looked closely and saw that they were actually footprints. How could such a terrifying footprint appear on such a hard rock? Before the crowd could react, Yi Chen had already appeared before the Black Tiger. All of the Black Tiger's energy accumulation was killed by Yi Chen. You. Black Tiger looked at the person in front of him in fear. He already knew what would happen to him. His opponent was able to completely see through his fist path in such a short period of time, launch a preemptive strike, and effortlessly restrain the eruption of his might. This person's natural talent in battle was absolutely shocking. Gotcha! Before the crowd could recover from their shock, they heard a cracking sound. The tiger-shaped fist aura was completely shattered. At the same time, one of the Black Tiger's arms was also shattered. A painful cry rose into the sky. Black Tiger's body trembled like a helpless lamb struggling for the last time in front of the Wolf King. Roar! At that moment, a brutal roar shook all directions. Countless dark matter rose high from behind Yi Chen and turned into the form of a heavenly snake. It devoured Black Tiger. It was the first time for everyone present, including the three guardians, that someone could devour a half-step true immortal so easily. Such a domineering aura was too unreal. Ling Jiao and the rest rubbed their eyes. They could not believe that Black Tiger, the object of their worship, was being devoured by someone using a strange power. The scene was so shocking that some cultivators from the Ninth Palace even peed their pants. What is this? It's too terrifying! Many disciples from the Ninth Palace screamed at the top of their lungs. They were scared out of their wit. ****, calm down. The great guardian reprimanded angrily, and the crowd quietened down. Who are you? Tell me your name. Ha, I'll never change my name. I'm the Heavenly Emperor Yi Chen. Hearing the name Yi Chen, the three guardians were stunned at the same time. The person that their palace master asked them to find who single-handedly destroyed the evil spirit nether prison headquarters was also called Yi Chun. Could it be? The three of them looked at each other with horror. If this Yi Chun before them was really the one they were looking for, they would be in big trouble this time. Elder He Yun smiled slightly in his heart. As expected, the person before him was Yi Chun. In this case, at least there was no conflict between the 10th Palace and Yi Chun. His previous actions might even gain Yi Chun's favor. Are you really the Yi Chun who single-handedly destroyed the evil spirit nether prison headquarters? The Great Guardian asked with some trepidation. Yes, so what? Yi Chun's cold eyes widened, and the Great Guardian's heart trembled rapidly. Great Guardian, he's really Senior Yi. The other two Guardians were also at a loss. How powerful was this person who single-handedly destroyed the entire evil spirit nether prison? The three of them were only beginner true immortals. Although they thought highly of themselves, they knew that they could not be compared to such a super genius. Senior Yi, we kneel. The three of them knelt on the ground directly and kowtowed to Yi Chun. This scene left Ling Jiu and the others completely dumbfounded. As cultivators of the 9th Divine Hall, they were very arrogant and overbearing. Now that the protectors of their hall were kneeling before this person, what did they think they were? At that moment, Ling Jiu could not accept the outcome before him. Damn it, kill him! Ling Jiu released his barrier and moved instantly. He wanted to sneak an attack on Yi Chun with his powerful movement technique. Ha, you're like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. You're overestimating yourself. Wanting to challenge him with his movement technique was the most foolish thing to do at this moment. Wind appeared under Yi Chun's feet, and he used the 9 heavens U steps. He only used 3 steps to break Ling Jiu's divinity. Clang! Yi Chun grabbed Ling Jiu's shoulder instantly and squeezed gently. Ah! Heart-wrenching pain spread throughout his body. Ling Jiu was like a wobbling kite, completely at Yi Chun's mercy. You don't even have the right to make me fight. Boom! Yi Chun's aura shook, and Ling Jiu was sent flying 300 meters away. He was on the verge of death. Senior Yi, we failed to recognize you. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. The 3 guardians kept kowtowing and begging for mercy. Isn't it too late for you to beg for mercy now? We to this. The 3 guardians were like ants on a hot pan, terrified. Chapter 2071. Yi Chun approached the 3 of them. His brows furrowed and his killing intent exploded. The 3 of them almost fainted on the spot. They had already predicted that their lives were about to end. Rumble! At this moment, thunder rumbled everywhere. A person descended from the blood-colored clouds. This person wore a blood-colored dark robe and a black gold crown. He held a black horsetail whisk in his hand as he descended from the sky with an imposing aura. The life-taking light that Yi Chun had emitted was directly kept into this person's sleeve. Someone dared to stop the judgment of heaven and earth? Yi Chun's brows furrowed as the demon's eye reappeared. Immediately, the surrounding space rapidly stagnated, and a new change occurred. The ancient god space could freeze time and space, but the demon's eye could freeze one's mind. Such power penetrated the heavens and earth, instantly intimidating everyone present. They felt that their minds were completely controlled by Yi Chun. They looked at Yi Chun like a demon god descending into the world, invincible. Fellow Yi! At this moment there was a loud bang. The newcomer forcefully shattered the void and barged into the stagnant space. Who dares to stop my judgment? Fellow Taoist Yi, I was rude, please forgive me. The newcomer was the man in the blood-colored dark robe. He bowed and walked forward. He was 10 meters away from Yi Chun and bowed respectfully. Seeing this scene, everyone present was shocked. This person was the 9th Hall Master, the Blood Fiend Patriarch. This person was usually ruthless and had killed countless people. If he did not agree with him, he could take someone's head as if it was from his pocket. However, when he saw Yi Chun, he actually bowed and walked forward, almost kneeling on the ground. This scene caused He Yun to tremble. He was thinking that even if Yi Chen really destroyed the evil spirit headquarters of the Nether Prison with his own strength, he would not be treated like this by the Blood Fiend Patriarch. There must be a reason behind this. Who are you? I'm the Blood Fiend Patriarch, the Ninth Hall Master. This time, the Guardians failed to recognize you and offended you, fellow Yi. I've come to apologize personally. With that, the Blood Fiend Patriarch knelt on the ground and apologized. Patriarch! The three Guardians' faces were twisted. They could not bear it. They did not expect that their momentary mistake would implicate the Patriarch to such an extent. A Patriarch kneeling to a young man was an unbearable humiliation, no matter what the other party's identity was. However, in order to save the three of them, the Patriarch gave it his all. Yi Chen glanced sideways at this person. This person's cultivation base was unfathomable and definitely far surpassed the three Guardians. He was at least a high-level true immortal. Yi Chen did not expect such a person to kneel before him. Blood Evil Patriarch, get up! Thank you, fellow Yi. Blood Fiend Patriarch was extremely excited, as if he had been pardoned. You three pieces of trash, aren't you going to apologize? Blood Evil Patriarch shouted at the three protectors. Yes, Senior Yi, we're trash. Senior Yi, we all have dog eyes. We didn't recognize the expert in front of us. This time, Ancestor Meng petitioned for us. We were wrong. Senior Yi, please accept it. The three great guardians, perfected immortals, were actually weeping in front of Yi Chen like children. This scene was too shocking. Lung Jiu got up. This time, he was really scared silly. He had wanted to target Yi Chen before, but now that he thought about it, he was really courting death. Blood Fiend Patriarch, I'll give you face and spare their lives this time. Teach them a good lesson. Fellow Taoist Yi, don't worry. I'll definitely do as you say. Blood Fiend Patriarch bowed and agreed. Elder He Yun. Yes. Elder He Yun hurried forward and came to Yi Chen's side to listen to his orders. Go to the 10th palace. Yes. He Yun was overjoyed. Fortunately, he had helped Yi Chen before. Otherwise, he would not be so lucky to have Yi Chen follow him to the 10th palace. Watching Yi Chen leave, Blood Evil Patriarch shook his head slightly. Sigh, you bunch of trash. Fellow Yi was going to come to our 9th palace. Patriarch, we. Sigh. The three of them wept again. Yi Chen followed Elder He Yun and rode a floating cloud to the 10th palace. Outside the 10th palace, the 10th palace master, Elder Qing Su, appeared at the same time with the 6 protectors to welcome Yi Chen. Fellow Yi, it's our honor to have you come to our 10th palace. Elder Qing Su wore a green Taoist robe. He had white hair and a youthful face. He looked much better than Blood Evil Patriarch. You're the palace master of the 10th palace? Fellow Yi is extremely smart. I'm Elder Qing Su. Ha, let's go. Yi Chen turned from guest to host and walked directly toward the main hall. Everyone was stunned. They did not expect Senior Yi to be so swift and decisive. However, Elder Qing Su and the others were very happy. It was a great honor for them to be able to get close to Yi Chen. After entering the main hall, Yi Chen sat directly on the high seat. Below him were Elder Qing Su, Elder He Yun, and the 6 protectors. Fellow Yi, I heard that you relied on your own strength to break into the underworld prison's evil spirit headquarters and destroy all the evil spirits. You're truly a young hero. I and the others admire you very much. Yi Chen looked at the old man and thought to himself that he was good at flattery. He just did not know if he could answer his many questions. Fellow Yi, if you have any requests, feel free to ask. Elder Qing Su, there are many questions in the underworld realm this time. I really want to ask you. Please ask. Elder Qing Su bowed slightly. Why are you all so respectful to me? Huh? He, of course, it's because fellow Yi helped our underworld prison eliminate the scourge of the evil spirits. How dare you? Yi Chen shouted coldly. Elder Qing Su almost fell to the ground. Elder He Yun and the 6 protectors revealed shocked expressions and did not dare to move. Fellow Yi, why are you so angry? Old thing, how dare you lie to me? Do you know the consequences? This, Elder Qing Su looked at Yi Chen with a terrified expression. Someone had previously warned him that Yi Chen was exceptionally intelligent and would not be so easily deceived. He did not expect it to be true. He wiped the sweat from his forehead with his hand, looking very embarrassed. Yi Chen returned to his high seat and looked at Elder Qing Su with a cold smile. Speak, what's the real reason? If you don't give me an explanation, this time, I'll make your 10th palace fall into chaos. Huh. Fellow Yi, calm down, calm down. Elder Qing Su's heart trembled rapidly. He knew that if he did not give some effective information this time, he would not be able to keep the 10th palace. He waved his hand at He Yun and the others. The 6 protectors and Elder He Yun all withdrew. So mysterious? Yi Chen said coldly. Fellow Yi, this matter concerns the order of the Lord of the Underworld. I dare not be careless. Order of the Lord of the Underworld. That's right, Fellow Yi. You're the person personally appointed by the Lord of the Underworld. If not for the Lord of the Underworld's messenger personally conveying the order, we wouldn't even know you. Why would we treat you like this? Ha, interesting. Chapter 2072. Old Taoist Qing Su, what is this Nether God's command? The God of the Underworld's order is the embodiment of the God of the Underworld's will. It's personally issued by the emissary of the Underworld's God of the Underworld, and it directly expresses the Lord God of the Underworld's intentions. All forces and individuals in the Underworld realm must obey. Not long ago, the content of the order was about you, Fellow Yi. It ordered all forces in the Underworld realm to treat Fellow Yi well. The old Taoist priest's words were soul-stirring. It reminded Yi Chen of the battle in the Underworld. Back then, he had fought a great battle with the Underworld God. At that time, he had fused the origin of darkness and the demon's eye, creating the might of the Dark Lord and the Underworld God. Finally, he had defeated the Underworld God's clone. This was the only connection he could think of. Good, your answer this time is not bad. Thank you, Fellow Yi. Elder Taoist Qing Su was very excited. It was a great thing to be praised by Yi Chen. After all, this was the first time a person who was directly protected by the God of the Underworld had appeared in the Netherworld realm. However, Yi Chen's thoughts were different from his. He wanted to find the Underworld God's true body and discuss the future of the Underworld with him. The evil spirits of the Netherworld have already been destroyed. This Emperor has nothing to worry about here. How can I let you reach the Netherworld divine realm? This, Elder Taoist Qing Su looked helpless. Yi Chen was confused. Fellow Yi, to tell you the truth, wanting to go to the Netherworld realm now is as difficult as ascending to heaven. What do you mean? Old Taoist priest Qing Su sighed lightly when he saw Yi Chen's puzzled expression. The Nether prison was directly under the Nether God temple, so they naturally wanted the Nether God's protection. However, the road leading to the Nether God temple was already controlled by the evil spirits and various chaotic forces. Taoist Qing Su continued, "It has been a long time since our Nether prison and many other continents have gone to the Nether God temple to pay their respects. The future is bleak." Old Taoist Qing Su, just how many forces are occupying this path? Why hasn't the Underworld God Hall dispatched troops to clear them out? This old man is also very curious about this. The Underworld God Hall is the strongest faction in the Netherworld realm, but the evil spirits have invaded many continents, yet the Underworld God Hall has remained silent. Only an emissary has passed on the Underworld God's orders, saying that the various continents are to deal with it ourselves. Yi Chen nodded lightly. All sorts of thoughts were running through his mind. The Nether God Temple's evil spirit. Yi Chen narrowed his eyes. He seemed to have found the crux of the problem. If he wanted to solve it, he would need to put in more effort. However, his time was limited. If the demon martial world and the primordial immortal world sent more fighters to the mortal world, then the underworld would be in danger. I'll personally investigate this matter. All of you, cooperate with me at any time. Please rest assured, fellow ye. I will definitely explain it to the other halls of the Nether Purgatory and actively cooperate with you. Very good. Yi Chen rested for a few days in the 9th palace. Then, he took the map that old Taoist Ching Su had given him and headed toward the Nether God Hall himself. The Dark God Temple was located at the highest point of the underworld realm. There were many myths and legends about it. It was the underworld realm's greatest source of faith. This time, Yi Chen was going to unveil its true colors. Stepping on an auspicious cloud, Yi Chen flew across the 9 heavens. He looked down at the Nether Prison continent from a bird's eye view. Many spiritual monsters scurried around, and even evil spirits hopped around. It was clear that the continent was no longer under the Nether Prison's control. After a day of stars, Yi Chen came to the end of the Nether Purgatory. As he walked forward, there were countless towering mountains and lofty ridges. It was another continent. Yi Chen flew to the top of a mountain. At a glance, he found that this continent was very strange. The ground was filled with stones, and these stones gave Yi Chen a very spiritual feeling. This feeling was different from ordinary spirit stones. He could even feel the existence of souls from them. Rumble! Suddenly, the earth shook and the mountains and rivers collapsed. Yi Chen found that the stones under his feet were moving. Yi Chen flew up and hovered in the air. He saw that the entire mountain had begun to move. This is, activating the demon's eye. Yi Chen saw the key. This was a giant mountain. Ha ha ha! With the sound of wild laughter, the entire mountain jumped up and turned into the form of a giant. Who are you? Heavenly Emperor Yi Chen. Ha ha ha! How dare you call yourself the Heavenly Emperor? How arrogant! Die! Without saying a word, the rock giant stretched out his giant hand, trying to grab Yi Chen. Ridiculous! Yi Chen sneered. The Heavenly Emperor's sword appeared in his hand again. Slash. The heaven and earth slash contained powerful immortal power laws and instantly severed the rock giant's arm. A cry of pain rang through the sky. The rock giant widened his eyes and roared at Yi Chen. Ha ha ha! You want to stop me with your cultivation base? Do you know your mistake? What mistake? Die! The rock giant twisted his body frantically. Subsequently, his severed arm grew out again. This surprised Yi Chen. Can it be reborn? Yi Chen sensed that the reborn energy came from the peak. It was the arm formed by countless gravel. Rock giant. That's right. We're from the rock giant tribe. Since you've come to our spiritual land, you'll become my meal. Who dares to be arrogant before the Heavenly Emperor? Slash. The Heavenly Emperor's sword slashed again. This time, the rock giant learned his lesson. Like a giant ape, he flew up and dodged the fatal blow. Ha ha ha! Die! The rock giant flew to the top of a peak. Subsequently, his arm kept attacking the peak. Countless gravel flew over like sharp blades and attacked Yi Chen. With a furious roar, Yi Chen's body exploded with endless divine power, shattering all the rock blades in the air. Impossible! The rock giant turned pale with fright. He transformed his arm into a spear again. It was like a pillar that supported the sky and pressed down on Yi Chen. Ah! Yi Chen laughed out loud. Ancient god power erupted. He opened his arms and competed with the rock giant's brute force. The giant was shocked once again. He did not expect Yi Chen to be so strong. This was unbelievable. The strength of the stone golem tribe was the strongest in the continent, but the person in front of him was clearly a human, yet he could compete with him in strength. The 10 of them roared. Huge waves and countless gravel crashed down on Yi Chen. Heavenly dragon roar, 9 dragons roar, crazy aura and stars shattered. The rock giant could not resist the ancient god power and was thrown out. Who are you? Why do you have such divine power? Heavenly Emperor Yi Qin, come here. The rock giant was weak and could only walk over. Whoosh! Yi Qin flew up and stood on the rock giant's head, controlling it to move forward. Go. Yes, master. The rock giant could only recognize Yi Qin as its master and moved forward quickly. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect to find a free mount in this continent. Awesome. Chapter 2073. The stone man jumped and flickered between the peaks as if it was walking on flat ground. Yi Qin sat on the stone man and observed his surroundings. In this domain, there were many tall peaks, giving off a piercing cold feeling. Yi Qin could not help but think of sword formations. This made Yi Qin unconsciously cautious. His sensing ability was very shocking, especially after cultivating the Tianyi soul cultivation method. He even had a sixth sense that could affect the environment. Yi Qin sensed the stone man and found that it was a substance without any spirit. This made him very puzzled. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that something was wrong. There must be some connection. Dong, dong, dong. The stone man flew faster and faster. Yi Qin moved his divine consciousness, wanting to control the stone man in front of him. However, the stone man seemed to be controlled by some other power. It did not listen to his commands and quickly ran in one direction. In such a situation, Yi Qin knew that it was a trap. Stepping on the stone man, Yi Qin flew up. However, when he flew, he felt a powerful suction force that pulled him into it. Ah! At this moment, wild laughter filled the surroundings. An incomparably tall black figure appeared in front of Yi Qin. Yi Qin looked at the sky and realized that this black figure was a stone man. It was 300 meters tall and soared into the sky. Kill! The stone man punched at Yi Qin. The world shook and the void shattered. Countless sand and rocks flew like sharp blades, cutting through the space. Boom, boom, boom. The huge shockwave made Yi Qin feel as if he had fallen into a storm. Impudent! Yi Qin shouted coldly. The demon's eye appeared between his brows again, and he saw through this person with a glance. It turned out that this huge stone man was just a puppet, and its control was inside the stone man. Ha ha ha, you'll definitely die after entering my domain. Who are you? I'm the evil spirit overlord. You've already fallen into my trap. You have no right to ask. Is that so? Facing the berserk evil spirit, Yi Qin already understood that this person was sent by a higher-level evil spirit to deal with him. After all, destroying the Nether Purgatory headquarters was a huge blow to the evil spirit. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Qin flew into the sky and was once again suppressed by an extremely strong gravity. Trying to escape from my domain? You can't do it. Ignorant fool, how do you know how high the sky is and how deep the earth is? After being angered by the stone man many times, the heavenly Dharch sword appeared in his hand again. The heavenly Thearka's image behind him shone brightly, stirring up the wind and clouds. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless bolts of divine lightning fell from the sky, making the celestial Dharch look even more majestic. The golem groaned because he sensed the immense power from the celestial emperor's projection. This power caused him to feel a sense of terror. As an evil spirit, this was something he could not endure. With a furious roar, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The stone man waved his gigantic arms and charged at Yi Qin. Kill! Yi Qin spun around and slashed at the sky gate. With a loud bang, the giant stone arm shattered in the air and turned into nothingness. Dong, dong, dong! Countless stones fell to the ground. You! The stone man locked his cold gaze on Yi Qin. He moved instantly like a ferocious beast, wanting to devour the opponent before him. Heavenly Monarch Order, Earth Sword Reverse Slash. Yi Chen no longer hesitated in the face of the stone man's frenzied attacks. He waved the Heavenly Emperor's sword in his hand, and the reverse slash chi engulfed the entire stone man's body. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. The boundless sword energy was sharp and formless. It instantly locked onto the stone man's body and exploded. After the sword energy exploded, the stone man froze in the air, unable to move. What did you do? A voice came from within the stone man. It was the evil spirit that controlled the stone man. Cut the crap. D****. The evil spirit generated evil energy and broke through the air. He stood on top of the stone man's head and looked at Yi Chen in the air. Yi Chen, you killed 3 of our perfected immortal leaders. This time, you won't be able to walk out of this stone formation. You! Yi Chen sneered. The evil spirit before him was not even comparable to the 3 leaders. What right did he have to say such big words? At this moment, heaven and earth shook. The void opened and a cloud of dark energy rushed out. Ha ha, Yi Chen, do you really think we'll be so careless as to let one person wait for you here? Although I'm the one who arranged this stone formation, I don't think you know how many secrets are hidden in it. The stone man revealed a sinister smile, as if Yi Chen was still trapped in a bigger scheme. The cloud of dark energy was obviously more threatening to Yi Chen than the stone man evil spirit. The cloud of dark energy emitted a dim light and rushed toward the countless peaks. Rumble! Suddenly, the world spun. The entire mountain range seemed to be switched on and kept shaking. The peaks around Yi Chen were uprooted and gathered in his direction. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Following that, waves of sword energy rushed into the sky. The dark energy made the sun and moon lose their light and darkness descended. As expected, Yi Chen confirmed his previous guess. There was a sword formation hidden in this stone formation, and it was created and set up by the cloud of dark energy. Sensing the cultivation base of the black energy, Yi Chen found that this person had a strong foundation. At the same time, with the protection of the formation, he could not see its true cultivation base. However, no matter who the opponent was, no one could stop this trip to the underworld world. I advise you to find some experts. The 2 of you are not enough to kill, Yi Chen said with a smile as he locked his cold eyes on the 2 in front of him. Yi Chen, don't be too arrogant. Don't think that you can order us around just because you killed those 3 pieces of trash. The person in front of you is a Dark Hunter ranked 10th on the Evil Spirit Assassin ranking. Do you really think you have a chance to live? Dark Hunter? I'll let you die in the darkness. Yi Chen's eyes were cold. The energy around his body was like a dragon soaring into the sky. The fiery wind stomped on the ground and in an instant, his powerful aura had already swept the entire area. At this moment, endless dark sword energy was launched at the same time. Countless peaks directly covered Yi Chen like a dome. Die. The dark energy said coldly. It was a heavy and destructive sound. Countless peaks released dark sword energy one after another, like a huge pincer, trying to crush the people in the dome. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, die in this dome. Seeing that the peaks were gradually sealing the dome, Yi Chen was suppressed by the gravity and could not escape. The stone man evil spirit's wild laughter came from outside. It seemed very pleased. As long as it killed Yi Chen, it would have made a great contribution and would definitely be rewarded handsomely. No. Suddenly, the dark energy said something shocking. The stone man evil spirit was stunned. It had no idea what was going on. At this moment, the peaks and the dome began to shake continuously. This shaking carried an extremely strong destructive energy. Anyone who felt it would be incomparably terrified as if they were being stabbed by a sharp knife. Chapter 2074. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. On the surface of the high peak, dark lightning constantly flashed. The nether deity power was already brewing. This is the nether deity power. The dark aura once again shocked the stone golem evil spirit. It did not expect Yi Chen to really have the nether deity power. Moreover, the nether deity power seemed to be far beyond its imagination. With this strength, no one would doubt that Yi Chen was from the nether deity royal family. He's just a human cultivator. How can he have such powerful and pure nether deity power? Isn't this too exaggerated? This person can rely on his own strength to kill 3 genuine immortal leaders, so his reputation is definitely not undeserved. He is definitely related to the god of the underworld. This might be one of the reasons why he can run amok in the underworld realm. What's the point of saying this? What do we do now? This person is about to break my sword formation. We're no match for him. Retreat immediately. Retreat? My merit is right in front of me. You want me to retreat? It's up to you whether to retreat or not. With that, the dark aura spun wildly and rushed toward an alternate space, wanting to leave. Isn't it boring to retreat so easily? Suddenly, a cold voice rang in their ears. Since they were already in the killing formation, the only fun was naturally to kill the person who set up the killing formation. This was Yi Chen's principle, equality. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Dark lightning spread rapidly, and the entire high peak was on the verge of collapsing. Seeing that the situation was about to lose its balance, the dark aura frantically fled. It threw out a pill, and with a loud bang, countless dark auras appeared at the same time, wanting to fish in troubled waters by relying on the phantoms. The stone golem evil spirit was furious. It did not expect the top 10 of the evil spirit killer ranking to be so embarrassed by Yi Chen. They had not even officially fought. Idiot, I don't have time for you. The dark aura did not care so much. Now, its only hope was to escape. It had already realized that the gap between them and Yi Chen was like heaven and earth. It was a gap that could not be bridged. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Countless phantoms fled in all directions. Each phantom was exactly the same. This was the ingenuity of this escape method. No one could tell the real from the fake. Rumble. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Accompanied by a deafening noise, the dome of the peak instantly shattered, and an imposing figure flew up from within. The light of the celestial arch illuminated the world, and the power of the underworld deity shook the past and present. Where are you going? With a cold shout, Yi Chen activated the demon's eye. In an instant, the entire space fell into his control. The true form of the dark energy was no exception. Under the vision of the demon's eye, there was nowhere for him to hide. No, impossible, this is the eye of the demon. The dark aura recognized the object between Yi Chen's brows. It was the symbol of the nether god, the demon's eye. What is it? The stoneman evil spirit obviously didn't realize the urgency of the situation. It didn't recognize the demon eye. Damn it. Why did I accept this mission with you? Damn it. You talk too much. Let's go. The demon's eye between Yi Chen's brows opened. Beams of underworld deity's light illuminated the entire space. In an instant, the entire territory was enveloped by underworld deity power. It was the underworld deity attainment stage. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The nether god power caused countless black lightning to flicker, and the surrounding space was completely sealed. Go. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The dark aura still wanted to escape, but it collided with the lightning. Countless phantoms shattered, and its true form was revealed. This person was a man in a black robe with 2 horns on his head. He held an evil sword in his hand and gritted his teeth in anger. Yi Chen roared, and the nether divine power in his body erupted. Suddenly, a formless storm surged toward the two of them unstoppably like a flood that could destroy the world in the prehistoric world. In the blink of an eye, everything fell silent along with the roar. The torrent of nether god power passed by. No life could exist. Death was right in front of them, and destruction was here. All the peaks turned into scorched earth, and all the dark aura dissipated without a trace. The stoneman turned into dust and fell to the ground. Accompanied by a roar that sounded inhuman, the sky serpent and the furious dragon appeared at the same time. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. They opened their huge mouths and kept devouring the dark energy in front of them. "Thank you for giving me power, Master." The Snake Queen's eyes were like silk. She looked at Yi Chen as if she was looking at her biggest idol. That kind of worship and love was uncontrollable. On one hand, it was because Yi Chen was too powerful, giving women a rare sense of security. At the same time, it was because the Sky Serpent had submitted to Yi Chen. Yi Chen was her only master. This was the Sky Serpent's nature. She was incomparably loyal and loved her master. "Snake Queen, your foundation has reached the ascension stage. I'll find a suitable time for you to ascend." "Thank you, Master." The Snake Queen was overjoyed. She had waited for ascension for a long time and finally had this chance. Roar. The space-time furious dragon roared endlessly as if there was a lingering anger. "Space-time furious dragon, I know you're unwilling. Don't worry, when I find a suitable treasure, I'll definitely let you be reborn like the Snake Queen." Roar. Space-time furious dragon understood Yi Chen's intentions. In his excitement, he went berserk. Countless cracks appeared in the surrounding space. It was extremely terrifying. "Go back." After receiving the order, the Sky Serpent and Furious Dragon returned to the ancient god space. Looking at the devastation around him, Yi Chen released the 8 gates disc. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Life Gate open. The Life Gate opened, and the power of creation swept across the entire place. The scorched earth was extinguished, and the earth was reborn. Countless grass and trees were unearthed under Yi Chen's creation. "Let's go." Yi Chen flew into the sky, stepping on a golden lotus as he headed toward the Dark God Hall. Underworld Realm, Evil Spirit Hall. Rumble. A huge tremor shook the heavens as a powerhouse roared. Dark hunters and stone men all died in Yi Chen's hands. D***eminent. Under the roar, the entire hall was about to collapse. Many powerhouses around knelt down, not daring to raise their heads. "You're all useless." Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. With a wave of his sharp claws, dozens of itinerant immortal powerhouses died tragically on the spot. Cries of pain filled the air. Everyone's spirit had reached its limit. Many powerhouses' legs even turned to jelly, almost fainting. Before them was one of the 10 heavenly kings of evil spirits, the Fury Shark Heavenly King. Everyone knew his bad temper. One wrong word and he would die. Unable to dispel the anger in his heart, only killing could give him a moment of peace. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. He opened his mouth, and his huge tongue began to absorb the power of blood. It was extremely terrifying. Chapter 2075. This person wants to go to the Netherworld realm, which is very disadvantageous to us evil spirit. I've received news that this person has already received the attention of the Netherworld God. We must not let him succeed. We will obey Heavenly King Nu Sha's instructions. As they watched Nu Sha absorb the blood while listening to his instructions, many evil spirit powerhouses revealed pained expressions. They were well aware of Nu Sha's violent personality, but no one dared to speak to him directly. Otherwise, they would be the ones who died the most miserably. After absorbing the blood, a female attendant stepped forward and quickly cleaned up the bloodstains on the ground. Nu Sha vented his emotions and began to walk down from the throne, looking at the many evil spirit powerhouses below. Yi Chen is just a human cultivator, but not only did he destroy the Nether Prison's headquarters, but he also killed 2 of our powerhouses at the same time. It's clear that our evaluation of him was wrong. Lord Nu Sha, should we send other evil spirit assassins to surround and kill him? That's a good idea, but if we waste so much time and energy to deal with a Mahayana stage person, where will the dignity of the evil spirits be? Let's wait and see, but we must not let him walk to the Netherworld God Temple alive. Yes. A powerhouse bowed and quickly walked out of the hall to monitor Yi Chen. At this moment, Yi Chen had already left the Stone Peak area and continued forward. This sudden attack by the stone golem and the dark hunters made him understand that his whereabouts were already under the control of the evil spirits. Moreover, the other party was very cruel, so there should be a kill order. Evil spirits, do you know the consequences of provoking me? Originally, Yi Chen did not have any enmity with the evil spirit. He only wanted to give the Flowing Cloud sect and Nether prison some face and suppress the arrogance of the evil spirit. However, he did not expect the other party to carry out such a desperate revenge operation, so they should not blame him. I'll kill all gods and Buddhas in my way. I want to see how many tricks you have up your sleeves. Yi Chen's eyes revealed a murderous aura. Lotuses appeared under his feet, and sword chi rushed into the sky. Above the sky, Yi Chen walked in the void and embraced the bright moon. He absorbed a lot of spiritual energy, and became more accustomed to the environment of the netherworld god realm. At the same time, he discovered that the power of his nether god power was increasing rapidly in this environment. This was definitely related to his adaptation to the environment. After the previous battle, Yi Chen realized that even the high-ranking Bloody Mary was still very afraid of the Nether God's power. This must have something to do with the Nether God. If the Nether God really wanted to meet him, it should not have been so difficult with the Nether God's cultivation base. Was it because Yi Chen's advancement was the Nether God's test, or was the Nether God helpless now? Before truly arriving at the Underworld God Hall, this answer seemed unsolvable. After leaving the Stone Peak area, Yi Chen rode the wind with his sword for 3 days and 3 nights before arriving at a new territory. This domain had a strong primitive color to it. The species of wild beasts and their violent nature gave Yi Chen a lot of fun. Could this be the Beast region? He took out the map that the Nether prison expert had given him. There was a description of the Beast region in it. The Beast region was located at the edge of the Nether prison's main road. Many Beastmen tribes lived there. They were violent by nature, but they were born with incomparably strong bodies. They were the typical representatives of body tempering. Many talented Beastman cultivators could produce stellar energy just by refining their bodies, and the power of stellar energy was not inferior to other kinds of energy. It could be seen that the heavenly Tao was unpredictable, and everyone had their own strengths. A woo! Just as Yi Chen approached the Beast region, a wolf's howl suddenly came from ahead. It was long and accompanied by an ancient aura. Yi Chen looked ahead, his gaze piercing through the many ancient trees. He saw an old man leaning on a rock, and a huge white wolf sat beside him. This sound was clearly coming from the white wolf. Yi Chen carefully analyzed the wolf's howl and easily sensed that this wolf's cultivation base was at the itinerant immortal level, and the other party did not cultivate itinerant immortal methods. Step by step, Yi Chen walked deep into the forest. It was as if Yi Chen was defenseless. There was no response from the surrounding space, as if he did not exist. "You're very smart." At this moment, a deep voice rang out. It was filled with vicissitudes. "Ha, but there's no need for me to be vigilant in this place," Yi Chen said with a cold laugh. "Smart, arrogant, and unruly. Young man, you surprise me." "Old man, it can't be such a coincidence that I just happened to pass by, right? Ha ha ha, what do you think?" The old man wore a long-brimmed straw hat, making it difficult to see his appearance clearly. However, Yi Chen could sense that this person's cultivation base was extraordinary, and his strength was unfathomable. He was definitely not an ordinary wanderer. Yi Chen leaned on the rock, as if he had woken up from a dream. Accompanied by the lone wolf beside him, Yi Chen looked ahead. There was an orc tribe 100 miles away. He could not help but wonder if this person was the tribe's guardian. "Young man, go back. This isn't a place you should be." "Old man, I'm going to the Underworld God Temple, so I have to pass by this place. I'm just a passerby. I have no other intentions." Whether you have other intentions or not, this isn't a place you should be. The orcs here don't welcome you. Yi Chen's gaze turned slightly cold. He saw through the straw hat and saw the old man's scarred face. The old man immediately sensed that Yi Chen had seen his true appearance. A hint of anger appeared in his eyes. You shouldn't have been so reckless. You shouldn't have blocked my path. Ha ha ha. The old man understood that Yi Chen was no ordinary person either. It was futile to try to persuade him to leave with words. However, he was only a guardian. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he did not want to hurt anyone. The surrounding space froze as if there was not a trace of energy flowing through. Yi Chen stood alone with his hands behind his back. An invisible might filled the entire forest. Meanwhile, the old man continued to lean on the rock without moving at all. However, the killing intent in the air also spread. A blood-red gleam shot out of his eyes as the old man gave Yi Chen his final warning. Young man, this is your last chance. After entering this forest, there's no way for you to turn back. Yi Chen laughed out loud in the face of the old man's threat. Ha ha, a threat? Who in this world can threaten me? Even if there is, what's there to be afraid of? Ha! Accompanied by loud laughter, Yi Chen walked past the old man directly as if he did not exist. Such boldness and aura made the old man feel that he had met a genius today. However, the guardians had their own rules. Whoever broke them would be the most direct challenge. He allowed Yi Chen to walk past him without moving at all. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The surrounding air flowed again. The autumn wind swept away the fallen leaves, stirring up a cloud of dust. Yi Chen walked straight past and headed to the tribe because it was the only way to the underworld god's temple. At the same time, it was the shortest journey. Approximately a moment later, Yi Chen realized that something was wrong with the surrounding aura. A cold aura swept through the place like an ice cave in hell. Demon Nanny in the city's latest chapter. Demon Nanny in the city's full text. /read/14266/ Demon Nanny in the city's TXT download. Demon Nanny in the city's mobile. /read/14266/ for convenience. Next time, you can click favorite below to record this. Guardian. You can see it when you open the bookshelf next time. If you like Demon Nanny in the city, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2076. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The cold wind blew and leaves flew. The entire environment turned extremely cold, as if it was going to freeze the blood in one's body. Yi Chen could feel it deeply. Even with his extraordinary foundation, the blood flow in his body was slowing down. If it was an ordinary itinerant immortal, they might not be able to move in such an environment and could only wait for death. Roar. The wolf howled again. It was familiar yet unfamiliar. It was familiar because it was the same wolf, but it was unfamiliar because of the extreme killing intent hidden in the voice. It made the voice horrifying and cold. It did not have the drawn-out aura from before. Ha, so this is your true self, Guardian. Yi Chen scoffed and stood with his hands behind his back. This was the worst form of defense as it completely exposed his flaws. However, it also displayed Yi Chen's arrogance and unparalleled might. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. His ancient god aura was unleashed. Instantly, tornadoes surged out and swept away the killing intent and cold wind. This was equivalent to accepting the Guardian's challenge. You're the most arrogant person I've ever seen at such a young age. You're such a powerhouse, but you're not the first person I've seen defeated by me. Ha ha ha. It was the Guardian's turn to laugh hysterically, filling the entire space. He did not expect the person before him to ignore him to this extent. Even if Yi Chen was a genius, he had no right to be arrogant before him. Roar. With a long howl from the white wolf, the old man appeared with a sword on his back. Young man, I've said it before. You won't have a chance once you step into this forest. Guardian, the Heavenly Emperor's sword will show no mercy for those who stand in my way. Rumble. With a shocking explosion, the Heavenly Emperor's sword appeared in Yi Chen's hand again. Radiance shot into the stars. The sun and moon dimmed and the world sank. Waves of dragon energy seeped out of the Heavenly Emperor's sword, shocking the universe and raging everywhere. Ha ha, what a powerful aura, but it's useless before me. The old man wielded his sword at the same time. It was a rusty ancient sword that looked like scrap metal to ordinary people. However, Yi Chen squinted. He did not see the surface, but the core. His opponent's sword was also extraordinary, but it was filled with boundless killing intent. The killing intent turned into vengeful spirits that could not only devour the opponent, but also the wielder of the sword. From this, it could be seen that this elder had his own story. But no matter what kind of story he had, if he stood in the way of becoming an emperor, he could only die. Along with an angry shout, the old man's aura erupted. The surrounding ancient trees were all broken, turning into fine powder. The great earth trembled and the heavens split apart. In that instant, gloomy clouds covered the world, ghostly light swirling about. It was indescribable. Yi Chen could sense that this person's cultivation base was beyond his expectations. He was at the true immortal stage, and he was a high-level true immortal. This person was the most powerful person Yi Chen had ever seen. However, Yi Chen smiled in excitement. This was a challenge and an opportunity. Ha ha! Guardian, you've piqued my interest. Since that's the case, then I'll welcome your defeat with the most brilliant light. The heaven and earth were angry, the arrogant Qi rushed to the 9 heavens, the Qi of the 9 dragons descended to the yellow springs. In the 9 heavens and 9 earths, only I am supreme. Boom! Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. As Yi Chen released his aura, the world was filled with thunder and boundless flames of fury. You're indeed a peerless genius. I'll accept your invitation. The old man swung his ancient sword. Wherever the sword gleamed past, space was sealed. Energy swam in the alternate dimension like a swimming dragon with indescribable might. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. All of a sudden, sword chi exploded from the earth like a hidden dragon coming out of the abyss. Heaven and earth were shocked. Roar. The sword chi turned into a dragon's roar and charged toward Yi Chen. Meanwhile, Yi Chen stood with his hands behind his back with the Heavenly Emperor's sword before him. Whoosh! The Heavenly Emperor's sword flew up on its own. With divine consciousness controlling the sword chi could not be traced. Clang, clang, clang. Yi Chen did not move, but the sword chi had already collided with the dragon. They clashed hundreds and thousands of times, causing countless sparks and explosions. Such a sword technique was superb. Both of them were shocked by each other's cultivation base, especially the Guardian. No matter how imaginative he was, he would never have thought that Yi Chen could block the sword earlier with his Mahayana stage cultivation base. What a pity! Such a genius is going to die in my hands. Ha ha ha, why are you sighing? You're the only one who can walk on the road to hell. Yi Chen laughed maniacally. After that sword attack earlier, he had already gauged the cultivation base of the person before him. It was indeed shocking. If Yi Chen did not break through his limits, he knew he would definitely die if he fought such an expert. Life and death are decreed by fate. The heavenly mandate belongs to me. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The demon's eye reappeared between Yi Chen's brows. Heaven and earth were shocked and the world was turned upside down. He completely released his power. Ancient god power shot into the sky. The ancient god's massive figure appeared behind Yi Chen. The heavenly Tao could no longer suppress its anger when it sensed such power because Yi Chen had triggered it on purpose. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The heavenly Tao divine thunder went wild. Yi Chen was triggering the heavenly tribulation. It had been many days since he advanced to the Mahayana stage. During this period, he had absorbed too much energy and already had the foundation to ascend. However, he had been suppressing these foundations. Today was the day they would shine the brightest. Glory to the Heavenly Emperor! With a roar, Yi Chen transformed into the 9 heavens' true dragon and soared into the sky. Seeing this scene, the old man was shocked. The person before him wanted to trigger the supreme heavenly tribulation. Did he want to fight him while undergoing the tribulation? Brat, do you look down on me so much that you want to escape with the heavenly tribulation? I don't think you can survive a heavenly tribulation of this level. Moreover, I'm not afraid of it. Today, I'll let you see a true powerhouse. A dark light shone between the guardian's brows. In an instant, his eyes turned scarlet and his aura changed. Roar! The old man let out a howl like a white wolf. Sword chi traveled 90,000 miles, and his divine ability evolved into millions of peaks. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Sword chi filled the sky like raindrop. It was Yi Chen's first time seeing such a dense sword chi attack. This person's control of the sword was beyond ordinary people's imagination. Ha ha ha, awesome! The more extreme the predicament, the more it could stimulate Yi Chen's greatest potential. The pride that belonged to a heavenly emperor and the absolute power that belonged to an ancient god erupted at this moment. Ah! Roaring at the highest point in the sky, Yi Chen released all of his power. Suddenly, a powerful beam of light shot into the sky. It shattered the heavenly Tao divine thunder. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The heavenly Tao sensed Yi Chen's heaven-defying action. Furious lightning shot into the sky and destroyed everything. It was Heavenly Emperor Yi Chen's first time facing such violent heavenly Tao divine thunder and such a mysterious divine ability. The excitement and murderous intent in his heart had reached its peak. Unparalleled ancient god, Dragon Wolf appears. Roar. There was a long howl. It was the Big Dipper Imperial Star, Dubhe Greedy Wolf, appear. Chapter 2077. Boom, boom, boom. Above the void, the heavenly wolf appeared. Endless starlight poured into Yi Chen's body. Roar! The heavenly wolf roared, shaking the surroundings. Endless star energy poured into Yi Chen. It was the first time he felt the power of the stars surging. It was a completely different feeling from before. This was a qualitative change. Sensing the supreme stars on Yi Chen's body, the white wolf swordsman's eyes turned cold. Sword energy rushed into the sky, no longer holding back. Looks like I've underestimated you. Underestimated me? Ha ha ha, white wolf old man, I'll make you tremble. Yi Chen sneered. The sword in his hand was unstoppable like a bright moon. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sword energy collapsed and the airflow exploded. Waves of tearing force forced the white wolf old man to retreat. The wolf sword in his hand let out a low hum. You've made my sword hum. You've done your best. Leave your name and die. God Emperor Yi Chen, I'll make you understand how insignificant you are. Yi Chen looked at the void. Endless divine lightning had already gathered. Of course, the target was him. Come on. He flew to the sky to block the divine lightning. Seeing this, the white wolf swordsman sneered and said, You're already deep in the heavenly Tao of divine lightning. You can't even protect yourself, but you still want to fight me. Unfortunately, even a genius will be defeated one day. Come on then. Yi Chen stood among the divine lightning fearlessly. The sword in his hand pointed at the divine lightning in the sky. Suddenly, endless divine lightning filled the divine sword, trying to tear Yi Chen's body apart. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The heavenly tribulation constantly tore at Yi Chen's body like knives and axes. The extreme pain did not make Yi Chen fall. Instead, he stood alone, enjoying the joy of ascension brought by this pain. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The divine lightning constantly bombarded the heavenly sword and then entered Yi Chen's body. Heavenly Emperor order. Divine lightning breaks 1,000 barriers. Behind Yi Chen, the divine might heavenly statue appeared. 4 elemental lights surrounded Yi Chen. It was the divine might 4 symbols. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The space-time roar appeared behind Yi Chen. The endless divine lightning was absorbed by it. Roar. He roared in pain, but at the same time, his eyes were bloodshot. He was already in berserk mode. Space-time raged, and the surrounding space-time instantly stagnated before collapsing. All sorts of chaos caused the surrounding space-time laws to collapse. In such a world, the White Wolf Old Man had no advantage at all. What happened? Due to the shattering of time and space, the White Wolf Swordsman's judgment of his surroundings became very problematic. He could not even find Yi Chen's real body because he had seen too many Yi Chens in the countless shattered time and space. He could not tell which one was the real initiator of the space-time law. Damn it! The White Wolf Elder let out a furious roar. Sword Chi soared into the sky, wanting to forcefully shatter space-time. Kacha, kacha, kacha! Although his sword Chi had shattered many space-time fragments, it was nothing compared to the collapse of the entire space-time. It was almost impossible for him to stop Yi Chen from transcending the tribulation. In the light screen of countless space-time fragments, the old man saw the scene of Yi Chen absorbing endless divine lightning and defying the heavens. This child's talent is so powerful, and there's such a terrifying primordial power in his body. It's unbelievable. By now, the White Wolf Old Man had to admit that although he was mentally prepared, the talent that Yi Chen had displayed had greatly exceeded his expectations. In that case, I can't wait any longer. A ray of light suddenly appeared between the White Wolf Elder's eyebrows. Then, the light rose into the sky like a meteor between heaven and earth, then it collapsed. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Endless sword chi exploded from the collapse of the meteor, then formed a full-scale attack in the space. Boom, boom, boom. Countless spacetime collapsed, but the explosion of sword chi did not show any signs of ending. It wanted to completely shatter everything. At this moment, Yi Chen also sensed the White Wolf Elder's madness. This person's strength was also beyond his expectations, so the only thing he could do now was to successfully transcend the tribulation. Ah! With a long shout, the ancient god power in his body was completely awakened. The majestic ancient god shadow appeared, and suddenly, the world was suppressed, and the divine power shook the universe. What? Through the space-time fragment, the White Wolf Elder was stunned when he saw the ancient god shadow behind Yi Chen. He could not imagine what cultivation method this kid cultivated to have such a shocking effect. Could this kid be Tianming? He could not help but think so. What he saw before him had already exceeded his imagination. In the sky, through the space-time fragment, Yi Chen fused into the ancient god space between the ancient god's eyebrows. He turned into a primordial god and forcefully resisted the might of the heavenly tribulation. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In the void, the heavenly Tao sensed Yi Chen's changes, and another shocking change occurred. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Countless immortal technique imprints appeared in the void, triggering the nine heavens' divine thunder and merging it with the true immortal rule. Endless heavenly Tao power erupted. Seeing the shocking change in the light screen, the White Wolf Elder was shocked again. This kid, a Mahayana stage's tribulation can actually trigger the heavenly Tao to release the true immortal rule. Could it be that this person is already equivalent to a true immortal in the heavenly Tao ranking? This was absolutely unbelievable. A Mahayana stage and a true immortal could not even smile. The difference between them was not just a matter of 108,000 miles. They were basically two different worlds. However, how could the person in front of him be so valued by the heavenly Tao that it would trigger such an inhumane heavenly tribulation? The elder could not explain it. This had already exceeded the scope of his understanding. Just as the elder was thinking, there was another storm in the void. The ancient god transformed into the form of Pangu, and the phantom of the heaven-splitting axe appeared in his hand. The ancient god roared like a dragon. Although it was only a phantom, the condensed divine might was already earth-shattering, shocking all gods and demons. Pangu splitting the sky, divine might shocks the world. It turned out that Yi Chen had absorbed the power of the Emperor star, Sirius, and had actually caused a qualitative change in the ancient god power. He now had the qualifications to become a 2-star ancient god. Although it was only a qualification, it had already allowed Yi Chen's ancient god power to develop by leaps and bounds. Pangu splitting the sky, 1/ shocked the world, 1/ the worries of ghosts and gods. Rumble. The heavens shook and the light screen of the sun and moon shattered. This was the wrath of the gods, and at the same time, it was a heaven-defying act. The entire sky collapsed, and all the light screens of time and space were destroyed. This / transcended the boundaries of time and space, transcending the cultivation level. It was the wrath of the ancient god, and the blood river of heaven and earth stretched for 90,000 kilometers. Everything froze, and there was no movement at all. It was as if the world was dead at this moment. The White Wolf Elder's eyes widened, and he was dumbstruck. At this moment, he used all his strength to open his eyes. He saw that the sky was clear, and there was no divine thunder. Demon Nanny in the city's latest chapter. Demon Nanny in the city's full text. /read/14266 /Demon Nanny in the city's TXT download. Demon Nanny in the city's mobile. /read/14266 for convenience. Next time, you can click favorite below to record this, chapter 2065. Pangu splitting the sky with 1/. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. If you like Demon Nanny in the City, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2078. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Immortal method lightning condensed and gathered on Yi Chen's body. His appearance kept changing, evolving into the shadow of the Heavenly Emperor. The 7 forms of the Heavenly Emperor were domineering. With a roar, the entire space collapsed completely. The damage caused by the space-time fury was restored, and the normal world appeared. The White Wolf Old Man finally saw Yi Chen's real body. However, the Yi Chen he saw now was not the same as before. Whether it was his appearance, figure, or that domineering aura, it was all changed. I won't stop you. Immortal power divine lightning surged out, shaking the entire world. The White Wolf Old Man was shocked. His eyes were filled with fear, and his entire body was sluggish. As a true immortal, the White Wolf Old Man could not believe that he was shocked by an itinerant immortal to such an extent. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. In a flash, immortal power swept across. The White Wolf Old Man shook his head slightly. Sigh, heroes come from the young. Geniuses shock the ages. White Wolf Old Man, do you still want to fight? Yi Chen looked at the old man coldly. The old man was extremely ashamed. You're the pride of heaven. I'm old. The White Wolf Old Man bowed slightly and saluted Yi Chen, then left. Looking at the old man's lonely figure, he had lost the right to protect the beast region. He was finally going to walk his own path. Yi Chen did not stop him. He wanted to pass through the beast region. Since the other party was no longer pestering him, there was no need to kill. After ascending to the itinerant immortal stage, Yi Chen felt that his meridians had completely evolved. His integration with the ancient god power had reached a new height. His biggest gain this time was naturally the awakening of the 7 stars of the Heavenly Emperor. The Dubhe Greedy Wolf star brought Yi Chen a transformation. Not only did it allow him to ascend to the itinerant immortal stage, but it also gave Yi Chen the possibility of advancing to a 2-star ancient god. Beast region. Starlight condensed and a huge star sword appeared under his feet. Yi Chen stepped on the spirit sword and flew into the sky. The beast region was a very special place in the nether purgatory continent. The cultivators here basically cultivated beast souls. The White Wolf Old Man from before cultivated the White Wolf beast soul. Although he did not display his full strength, Yi Chen could feel the white wolf beast soul in his body. Barrier. While flying, Yi Chen sensed that a barrier had appeared in the void in front of him. Upon closer inspection, the barrier was filled with waves of evil energy. There was also the White Wolf Elder's sword chi. What's going on? This enchantment should have been formed by some kind of counterbalancing force. Sword chi and dark energy, this kind of mutual restraint and reinforcement effect, how did it come about? Since it had evil energy, it meant that it was related to evil spirit. After all, as an existence in the netherworld god realm that could oppose the dark god temple, it definitely had its own mysteries. Go! Yi Chen opened his mouth and spat out a sword chi directly. As the sword chi moved forward, it condensed the power of the stars and transformed into a star heavenly sword. Its might was unstoppable. Boom! The power of the stars collided with the barrier of evil energy. Instantly, the heavens and the earth shook, and the sun and moon lost their color. Affected by the commotion, many experts of the beast region appeared. Who dares cause trouble in the beast region? The newcomer was a man dressed in green beast skin. He looked to be in his 30s or 40s and was very spirited. I'm going to pass through your beast region. Remove the barrier immediately. Yi Chen said. Ha ha ha, who do you think you are? How dare you cause trouble in our beast region? At this moment, another average-looking orc of medium build appeared and shouted at Yi Chen. Yi Chen's eyes flashed coldly. His eyes flashed and two star sword chi rushed out. Now that Yi Chen had absorbed the ravenous wolf energy, his entire body could release star sword chi at will. Swish, swish. The two sword chi pierced through the orc's body. His legs instantly weakened and he knelt on the ground. You! The orc's face contorted in pain. His legs were still crippled by Yi Chen's sword chi. His knees were completely shattered. Seeing this scene, many orc cultivators' hearts trembled. The one who had spoken rudely before was a somewhat famous itinerant immortal in their tribe. They did not expect that he would lose the ability to resist after a single blow. How powerful was this person? This enchantment was set up by an agreement between us and evil spirit. If we remove it without permission, it will cause an uprising of evil energy. We will die without a burial place. Forgive me for not being able to comply. The young man said. Wherever I go, I leave no trace of evil. If you are afraid of evil spirits, then you should be afraid of me. Do you want to become enemies with the entire tribe? I don't care who you are or how many people there are. In my eyes, you are all ants. You. The young man was furious. He did not expect Yi Chen to be so overbearing. A long sword appeared in his hand. The long sword was curved like a green python's tongue. It was very strange. In that case, don't blame me for not showing mercy. Ha! Yi Chen sneered and took a step forward. Rumble! Suddenly, sword chi erupted from the ground. Countless sword gleams rushed out from the ground and instantly surrounded the young man. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked. Only then did they realize that the person in front of them had the right to be arrogant. His strength was unfathomable. Since I came here, you should know that the White Wolf Old Man has already been defeated. How dare you stop me? Are you courting death? This. Many tribe powerhouses revealed shocked expressions. They were very clear about the White Wolf Old Man's strength. In fact, this barrier was the result of the negotiation between the White Wolf Old Man and the evil spirit. He had actually been defeated. Was there any need for them to struggle? They looked terrified, and there was respect in their eyes when they looked at Yi Chen. At this moment, the young man shouted angrily. His body emitted countless green auras. Following that, these auras condensed into a green python. It was his beast soul. Kill. With a loud bang, the man charged at Yi Chen's sword chi barrier. Boom, boom, boom. However, he suffered a strong backlash from the star's sword chi. Several rays of sword chi rushed at him, and the young man lost an arm. Following that, the power of the sword chi made the young man fall from the sky. A mouthful of blood splattered out. The young man's face was filled with disbelief. Only now did he understand that the person who could defeat the White Wolf old man was not someone he could deal with. "Why aren't you making way?" "Ah." Everyone looked at each other. They were just a small tribe in the beast region. They could not afford to offend a big shot like Yi Chen at all. They all revealed expressions of fear, and then looked at one person. At this moment, an old man walked forward. He was an elder of this tribe. "We had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai and offended the Venerable One. I apologize to the Venerable One on behalf of all the people of the tribe." He knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Yi Chen. "Stop talking nonsense. Remove the barrier power immediately." "Venerable One, this barrier power was created by the evil spirit. Although we can open the formation eye, we can't break it." "Ha! You just need to open the formation eye." "Yes." Chapter 2079. Many combatants came to a secret place. This was the eye of the tribe's formation. They released their tribesmen's abilities and began to send energy toward the eye of the formation. Soon, countless evil energy was emitted from the eye of the formation and began to attack the surroundings. Even the combatants were sent flying. Shocked, they all retreated and did not dare to move forward. "Venerable One, this formation is too powerful. The evil energy is invincible. We dare not approach. Now that the eye of the formation has been opened, please handle it." "It's none of your business. Step back." "Yes." Everyone obeyed Yi Chen's order and stepped back. Clatter, clatter, clatter. Yi Chen walked with his hands behind his back. With each step, the 7 stars formation was formed. The grand formation activated the 7 stars of the heavenly universe. The light of the stars descended and poured into Yi Chen's body. This strange phenomenon caused the combatants of the tribes to be amazed. They all revealed expressions of worship. Yi Chen's strength and amazement made them feel as if a god had descended to the mortal world. The light of the 7 stars bloomed. Between heaven and earth, sunlight no longer existed, as if it had fallen into boundless darkness. At the same time, the evil energy in the eye of the formation sensed danger and began to condense. Roar. With a roar, everyone trembled and retreated again. They saw an evil creature appear above the eye of the formation. This evil creature had 2 horns on its head, and evil fire burned in its eyes. It was like a beast from hell, absorbing everyone's souls. Cries of pain rang out. Those who did not have a strong foundation were shocked by this evil creature. Their soul energy was constantly being absorbed, causing unbearable pain. The evil creature was rampant. Yi Chen's eyes narrowed and he suddenly stomped his foot. Immediately, the ray of greedy wolf turned into a sword and rushed toward the evil creature. Roar! The evil creature felt the power of the sword of greedy wolf and summoned the wind and rain. The powerful evil energy roared and turned into a cloud of black energy, rushing toward Yi Chen. However, how could such an evil creature stop the Emperor Star's greedy wolf? Boom, boom, boom. The evil energy dissipated under the attack of the sword energy. A loud rumble shook the surroundings. The entire eye of the formation collapsed under the attack of the sword of greedy wolf. The evil energy formation also collapsed from the sky. Although this evil energy formation seems to be protecting your tribe on the surface, it is actually constantly absorbing your soul energy. Now I'll take care of it for you. Thank you, Venerable One. Thank you, Venerable One. Countless powerhouses knelt down and worshipped Yi Chen, thanking him for his feat. This was just a small tribe in the beast region. It was not a place he should stay. After breaking the formation, Yi Chen flew away. Up in the sky, he looked down at the beast region and saw many rifts in front of him. These rifts were filled with miasma, as if they were separating heaven and earth. It just so happened to cut off the movements of the small tribes. Zzz. When they arrived in front of the Rift Valley, miasma soared into the sky, forming a natural isolation zone. Yi Chen landed in front of the Rift Valley and sensed the nature of the miasma's power. He discovered that the miasma was not formed naturally and contained powerful evil energy. It seems like the evil spirit's control over the beast region is extremely strong. Even the core of the beast region is under their control. Yi Chen could not help but think so after seeing so many strange situations in the beast territory. The beast zone barrier before him was the second obstacle that stopped Yi Chen from advancing. Telepathic finger. Yi Chen flicked his finger and charged into the rift with his powerful divine consciousness. The finger force turned into a stream of light and moved forward, shuttling between the various spaces in the Rift Valley. The miasma sensed the existence of the finger force and began to condense, devouring the finger force. Roar! The wind howled angrily like the roar of a ferocious beast. It raged wildly, trying to devour the finger force. However, Yi Chen's finger force was very intelligent. It moved quickly and did not give the miasma a chance to devour it. After a few rounds, the miasma actually condensed a powerful ball of evil energy. It turned into a huge devouring ring and completely suppressed the miasma. Through divine consciousness, Yi Chen saw that the inside of the miasma Rift Valley was unfathomable. There must be something strange hidden inside. On the other side of the Rift Valley was the beast region, the Nightmare Beast tribe. This tribe was one of the largest tribes in the periphery of the beast region. Their upper elders could directly contact the beast region's imperial city and had a high status. After many investigations, Yi Chen had already confirmed that the beast region was either controlled by the evil spirits or they were working closely with them. Rumble! Suddenly, there was a huge tremor below the Rift Valley. It was a sign that Yi Chen's finger force had collapsed. Zzz. Suddenly, waves of miasma began to move restlessly and rushed in different directions. Yi Chen pointed his finger again, wanting to destroy the rushing miasma. However, there was too much miasma and it was difficult to destroy it all. He could not help but think about the purpose of the miasma. The Nightmare Beast Tribe Chief's Hall. Chi. Suddenly, several miasma appeared in the air and rushed toward a person. Inhale! That person sat on a cattail hassock and closed his eyes to rest. However, when the miasma arrived, it was all absorbed by his nose. Heavenly Master, what's the situation? The Nightmare Beast Chief, who was sitting on the high seat, asked the person below. Someone's invading. The person opened his eyes and said to the crowd. What? Hearing this, everyone was shocked. Their Nightmare Beast tribe's prestige in this area was extremely high, and it had been a long time since anyone dared to invade them. They did not know who it was that dared to so brazenly invade their tribe. Heavenly Master, who's so bold to invade the Nightmare Beast tribe? Chief, the person who came this time is a human, but his foundation is very deep. Just a finger force is enough to cause a huge tremor in the miasma rift. I think this person's goal might not be us, but something deeper. Heavenly Master, you mean? If I'm not wrong, this person might be the human cultivator who shocked the entire nether prison, Yi Chen. Huh! Everyone was shocked. They had heard of Yi Chen's heroic feat. He could destroy the entire evil spirit headquarters of the nether prison alone. This was very troublesome for them. Angel, this person has such a huge grudge against the evil spirit. Did he discover our cooperation this time? Ha, Chief, don't panic. Since we're working with the beast region, we naturally have to protect the beast region. No matter how powerful this person is, as long as he dares to harm the Nightmare Beast tribe, we'll make sure he never returns. Thank you, Heavenly Master. With the chief taking the lead, everyone bowed to the Heavenly Master. The Heavenly Master smiled, then stood up and walked out of the hall. He came to the spacious land and issued a command to the sky, flying quickly toward the center of the beast region. Yi Chen, that's interesting. I'll play with you. The nightmare beast celestial master smirked coldly. Subsequently, he flew up and headed toward the rift. Before the rift, Yi Chen was ready to break through the miasma barrier and charge into the nightmare beast's territory. At that moment, a black fog descended from the sky, and a person descended on a black-blooded centipede. Demon Nanny in the city's latest chapter. Demon Nanny in the city's full text. /read/14266/Demon Nanny in the city's download. Demon Nanny in the city's mobile. /read/14266/ for convenience. Next time, you can click favorite below to record this. The Nightmare Beast Tribe. You can see it the next time you open the bookshelf. If you like Demon Nanny in the City, please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2080. Ha ha ha. With a burst of maniacal laughter, the person flew down. It was none other than the celestial master Wu Shou. Who are you? Yi Chen asked coldly. I am the Nightmare Beast celestial master. The place you have come to is the Nightmare Beast tribe's territory. I don't care where this is, blocking my way is a capital offense. The heavenly master Ba Shou did not expect Yi Chen to be so tyrannical that he wanted to punish him directly. A sneer appeared at the corner of his lips. He studied Yi Chen carefully. Although Yi Chen had just become an itinerant immortal, he was still a long way from the heavenly master Ba Shou's stage. Ignorant scholar, how dare you be so rude to me? Do you know that as long as I wish it, you'll die here? Ha ha ha, I really don't know. Yi Chen guffawed a few times upon hearing what the heavenly master said. He stomped on the ground and charged at the heavenly master with a starry sword gleam. Whoosh! The sword ray rushed into the miasma. The sage narrowed his eyes and chanted a spell. The boundless miasma surged crazily and turned into sharp claws, grabbing onto the sword ray. Chi chi chi. The sword light and the miasma were entangled in midair, colliding, and eventually both turned into nothingness. Not bad. Sensing the power of the sword chi, the celestial master Wu Shou felt that he had underestimated the person in front of him. However, he had an absolute geographical advantage in the Miasma Rift Valley, so he had nothing to fear. Yi Chen's eyes turned slightly cold as he looked at the person before him. He had already noticed something. This person was an evil spirit. Through the demon's eyes' strong senses, Yi Chen could confirm that this person was an evil spirit. However, this person seemed to have obtained some of the orc's abilities. This made Yi Chen link it to the evil energy formation from before. It was absorbing the souls of the orcs through their ignorance. In that case, as the celestial master of the beast tribe, could this person have done something and absorbed some of the beast tribe's power? Are you Yi Chen? Suddenly, the celestial master spoke again. He called Yi Chen's name directly. Oh, it seems like you know me. Of course, after destroying the headquarters of the evil spirits in Nether Prison, you have become famous in many continents. However, in front of me, you can only die. You don't seem to understand that a loose tongue can cause trouble. Ha ha ha, I understand it too well. That's why I'm warning you. Scram immediately, or I'll kill you without mercy. A creepy smile appeared on Yi Chen's face when he saw how arrogant the person before him was. He was already consolidating a ball of sword chi in his hand. How was he going to vent his hatred if he did not kill this person? Boom, boom, boom. The heavens and earth were enraged, the earth exploded, and the powerful aura directly rushed into the Miasma Rift Valley. Seeing such power, even the Nightmare Angel was shocked. He recalled all the information he had received before, and all of them pointed out that this person was not easy to deal with. If he could kill this person this time and contribute to the evil spirit's hummer, then his position among the evil spirits would definitely rise. This was a good opportunity for him to make a meteoric rise. Since you've delivered yourself to me, then leave your life behind. The Tian Shou celestial master sneered and waved the scepter in his hand. Suddenly, countless miasma rushed out of the rift like evil dragons, turning into an endless barrier that enveloped the entire land. Soon, everything within 1,000 miles was surrounded by the miasma. The celestial master Wu Shou flew up and laughed maniacally. Ha ha ha, Yi Chen, in front of me, you can only die. There are too many people who have said this, but there's only one fate for them, to die without a burial place. The Heavenly Emperor's sword reappeared in Yi Chen's hand. The sword gleam triggered the 9th Heaven Emperor star. Heaven and earth were connected in a line, and the sun and moon existed. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The Heavenly Emperor's sword's blade constantly emitted starlight. The sky was filled with stars that covered the sun and moon. The majesty of the Heavenly Emperor shook the world. D*eminent. This was supposed to be his home ground, but now he was intimidated by Yi Chen's majesty. The celestial master Wu Shou was furious. He wanted to completely punish the person before him to eliminate his hatred. Mima, Mima, Mima. Immediately, the celestial master Wu Shou began to chant various incantations. Countless miasma began to transform in the void, turning into various talismans that floated in the sky. These talismans kept connecting and combining with each other, forming an even more terrifying talisman formation. Ah! The celestial master Wu Shou laughed maniacally again. He mocked Yi Chen for not stopping him when he was building the talisman formation. That was the stupidest thing to do. If the talisman formation succeeded, it would be his death. However, how could he know that Yi Chen was just letting him know the reason before he died? Ignorant fool, you know how to set up a formation? D*eminent, I'll kill you. The celestial master Wu Shou was furious. He activated countless talismans and began attacking Yi Chen. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yi Chen waved the heavenly sword. Instantly, sword chi filled the sky and heaven and earth shook. The sun and moon collapsed. Boom, boom, boom. A huge explosion caused countless shockwaves that crashed into the talisman formation. Using this opportunity, a flash appeared between Yi Chen's brows, and a clone charged into the talisman formation. You're courting death. The celestial master Wu Shou activated the talisman. Instantly, countless miasma corroded the person before him. Pust, pust, pust. Soon, the doppelganger completely dissipated in the sky. Ha ha ha! Just as the celestial master Wu Shou was laughing, he realized that Yi Chen was standing in front of him intact. He realized that the figure earlier was just an illusion of a clone. You! The celestial master was furious. He waved his scepter and released his evil energy wildly this time. He no longer hid his identity. Evil spirit, I'll let you meet your companion in hell today. You're bragging. The celestial master placed his scepter horizontally, and evil energy erupted from his body. Instantly, a primordial beast appeared behind him. It was a green Ting Mang. Ting Mang, devour! Roar! The gigantic Ting Mang turned into a primordial mouth and devoured him. What a joke! Yi Chen flew up after saying what a joke. He did not retreat. Instead, he charged in the direction of the Ting Mang. The celestial master did not expect that at all, and he revealed a shocked expression. Subsequently, nether god power erupted behind Yi Chen, and the heavenly serpent appeared. Roar! They were both existences that devoured everything. The heavenly serpent versus the Ting Mang, the void shattered, and the 9 heavens collapsed. In an instant, the power of darkness covered the sky, and the nether god power shook the world. Pust, pust, pust. With the sound of devouring, the heavenly serpent entangled the Ting Mang, and its huge mouth killed without mercy. What? The celestial master Wu Shou was furious when he saw his Ting Mang being devoured by Yi Chen's heavenly serpent completely. How is this possible? He looked at everything before him in disbelief. Since Yi Chen dared to devour his Ting Mang directly, he would make him pay the price. The celestial master Wu Shou waved his scepter, and boundless miasma attacked Yi Chen again. However, Yi Chen smirked lightly. With a thought from his divine consciousness, the heavenly serpent appeared again. Roar! The heavenly serpent devoured the sky, and the boundless miasma entered the heavenly serpent's mouth. Very good. This is the effect I wanted. Suddenly, the celestial master revealed a strange smile. Chapter 2081. Seeing the heavenly master's strange smile, Yi Chen had already expected it. The miasma was something that ordinary cultivators could not fight against. Its toxicity could corrode everything. Ha ha ha, idiot, do you think you can survive after absorbing so much miasma? No matter how powerful you are, die now. The nascent beast heavenly master revealed his true appearance. He was an evil spirit cultivator. Roar! The heavenly master absorbed the boundless miasma and began to evolve various ferocious nascent beasts, wanting to defeat Yi Chen completely. Yi Chen smirked slightly in the face of such madness. Ha, your plan is very thorough. Unfortunately, it's useless. What did you say? Ah! With a long shout, Yi Chen released the ancient god power in his body. Immediately, the meridians in his body flowed with the ancient god bloodline. The miasma poison in his body collapsed instantly. Rumble! Yi Chen's meridians kept rumbling like a dragon's roar. It was a sign that the ancient god power was circulating. As the energy of the winged dragon spread through the air, Yi Chen stood before the nascent beast heavenly master like a giant. Nascent beast heavenly master, accept your fate. What did you say? The heavenly master had already sensed that Yi Chen did not show any signs of being poisoned. This was completely beyond his imagination. In that case, could it be that his miasma formation was useless? His guess was right. Before Yi Chen's ancient god body, the miasma was child's play. It was completely useless as it was devoured by the heavenly snake and dissipated. While the nascent beast heavenly master was stunned, Yi Chen charged at the heavenly master with the immortal slaying flying dagger in his hand. The heavenly master came to his senses and quickly retreated, wanting to avoid Yi Chen's attack. However, he had underestimated Yi Chen's speed. Ninth heaven U steps, divine thunder rush. Countless bolts of lightning bloomed in the sky. These bolts of lightning became Yi Chen's stepping stones, creating a path of lightning for him. No one could stop such a path, not even the nascent beast heavenly master. Nascent beast technique. Seeing that the heavenly snake was devouring everything, the nascent beast heavenly master wanted to activate the secret technique of the nascent beast clan to counter it. The nascent beast was the bane of snake. However, Yi Chen sneered. The young beast could restrain ordinary snakes, but it had to retreat when facing the heavenly serpent that could devour all things. Roar! The heavenly serpent roared furiously as dragon chi surged. With the support of Yi Chen's golden body, the heavenly serpent had begun to evolve into a dragon serpent. Sky Snake Tail Whip. Yi Chen activated the heavenly serpent's power and unleashed it with a loud rumble. The gigantic serpent's tail shook the heavens and devoured the sky. Under the boundless gloom, the origin of darkness appeared at the same time. Hoo! The incomparably terrifying source of darkness was like a black curtain covering heaven and earth, completely intimidating the whole beast celestial master. Now he finally understood that the true strength of a man who could destroy the nether prison headquarters by himself was so ruthless. Celestial Master Wu Shou, prepare to die. No! Celestial Master Yen Shou finally realized his incompetence. Before the Celestial Arch, he was just an ant, not even an ant. Celestial Thearcha's order, Mortal Sword Revolution. Yi Chen released the heavenly serpent. The gigantic serpent's body wrapped around everything. In an instant, Celestial Master Yen Shou was already trapped in the heavenly serpent array. Subsequently, Yi Chen released the power of the heavenly sword and combined it with the mortal sword divine power to instantly lock onto the celestial master Yen Shou. Under such a pincer attack, the celestial master Yen Shou's true immortal cultivation base could not be used at all. When he saw Yi Chen, it did not matter what kind of divine power he had. The divine weapon was right in front of him. Yi Chen used the 9 heavens treading you steps. One encounter on the thunder path was eternal. Zing! There was a slicing sound. Blood splattered 5 steps, and the celestial master Yen Shou's figure stood blankly on the spot. This scene fell into the eyes of the nascent beast clan powerhouses behind. The celestial master Yen Shou, the last link between them and the dark energy, was mercilessly killed by Yi Chen just like that. Celestial Master, the Celestial Master is dead. The Celestial Master has passed away. Someone shouted. Under their horrified gazes, the Celestial Master Yen Shou's head flew into the air. Yi Chen flew over the sky serpent and crossed the Miasma Rift Valley. He flew to the peak on the other side. The Celestial Master Yen Shou was transformed from an evil spirit. Are you guys colluding with the evil spirit by acknowledging him as the Celestial Master? Huh? The nascent beasts revealed terrified expressions when they heard what Yi Chen said. They did not know about such high-end matters. They only knew that the Celestial Master held an extremely high position in the clan. He had cooperated with the chief to create such a huge formation. They did not expect Yi Chen to break it. We don't know anything. The powerhouses present knelt one after another and worshipped Yi Chen continuously. They had already treated Yi Chen as a god they worship. You fools! I'll spare your lives for now. If you dare to cooperate with the evil spirit again, no one will survive under the heavenly sword. Yes, yes. Many powerhouses nodded. Lead the way. I want to go to the chief's hall. Yes. A powerhouse led the way for Yi Chen to the Nascent Beast Clan's hall. In the Nascent Beast Hall, a powerhouse reported. Reporting to the chief, the Celestial Master Yen Shou has been killed by Yi Chen. The Miasma Rift Valley formation has been broken. What? The chief revealed a terrified expression. He knew very well the identity of the Celestial Master Yen Shou. He was a high-ranking envoy sent by the evil spirit. If he died in the Nascent Beast Clan, then their good days would be over. Rumble. Just as he was hesitating, thunder rumbled between heaven and earth. The heavenly emperor rode the heavenly serpent and descended. Roar. The heavenly serpent roared angrily, shaking heaven and earth. The surrounding nascent beasts retreated. Where is the chief of the Nascent Beast Clan? The question shook 1,000 miles. The powerful sound wave shook the 9 heavens and shook the entire beast tribe. The nascent beast chief did not dare to ignore it. The nascent beasts flew out and looked at the sky. They discovered a person with supreme dignity. He shone brightly like a god. His formation could not be seen. He rode the heavenly serpent and held the heavenly sword. He looked down on the world, insufferably arrogant. Who are you? The nascent beast chief asked. Whoosh. Yi Chen did not respond. He threw out a head directly. It was the Celestial Master Yen Shou. When everyone saw the image of the head clearly, they revealed expressions of fear. The Celestial Master Yen Shou was the chief priest of the clan. He usually had an extremely high status and great prestige. Now that Yi Chen had killed him on the spot and sent him to their doorstep, this scene was too shocking. Everyone was uneasy and looked at the chief. You dare to kill my clan's high priest? The nascent beast chief questioned loudly. You're cooperating with the evil spirit. You don't have to be the chief. Huh. The nascent beast chief revealed a shocked expression. It seemed like the other party knew everything. Cooperating with the evil spirit was a confidential matter. Many people in the clan did not know about it. Now that Yi Chen had revealed it, the nascent beast chief had no choice but to face it. Chapter 2082. Don't spout nonsense. The Heavenly Master is a member of the Nightmare Beast tribe. You killed the Heavenly Master and framed the evil spirit. You deserve to die. The Nightmare Beast chief glared at Yi Chen angrily with a cold expression. He tried his best to maintain his dignity. He was merely relying on his home ground advantage. He wanted everyone to suppress Yi Chen with their aura so that he could not move. However, he did not know that this was the most foolish thing to do. Before the Heavenly Emperor, numbers and aura were nothing. This person killed the Heavenly Master and destroyed our Nightmare Beast tribe. Does he deserve to die? Damn it, damn it, damn it! Under the chief's instigation, everyone was furious at Yi Chen. Ah! Yi Chen laughed maniacally. He released sword chi and pointed it at the head. Zap, zap, zap. As the sword chi touched the head underwent a shocking change and began to evolve into the appearance of an evil spirit. Everyone was shocked when they saw it. The chief frowned slightly. He did not expect Yi Chen to make the Nightmare Beast Heavenly Master reveal his true appearance. However, now that things had come to this, he had to fight to the end. This person is using demonic techniques to harm the Heavenly Master's head. Kill him! Kill, kill, kill! Seeing the people around them shouting to kill, the Nightmare Beasts who had submitted to Yi Chen earlier felt immense pressure. They began to approach the Nightmare Beast tribe. Seeing these ignorant people being bewitched by the chief, they actually did not know the truth. You fools! Then let this emperor beat you awake. Yi Chen scoffed. The heavenly sword in his hand flickered with a cold gleam. The heavenly snake danced behind him, and a bloody wind blew. Damn it, kill him! The chief gave the order to kill. Countless nightmare beasts attacked Yi Chen one after another. Impudent! Yi Chen waved the 7-foot-long sword in his hand. Instantly, a sword gleam shone in all directions. Sword chi reverberated and the universe moved. Rumble! The ground cracked and the mountains collapsed. Many nightmare beasts were sent flying. Their bodies stiffened and they could not move. Painful moans filled the scene. The sword strike shocked everyone. Nightmare Beast Chief, it's a joke to cooperate with the evil spirit and want long-term peace. Since you don't know how to repent, I can only kill. Roar. The heavenly snake roared furiously. A violent wind filled the entire Nightmare Beast tribe. Many cultivators could not resist this storm and were sent flying. Seeing that his warriors were so useless, the Mastiff Chief flew into a rage. Behind him, a majestic shadow of the Mastiff emerged to confront Sky Snake. When the massive young beast appeared, many of the young beasts retreated, not daring to approach. Kill him, kill him! They kept yelling and still had hope for the chief. However, in Yi Chen's eyes, he was no different from a dead man. Heavenly Monarch Order, Earth Sword Reverse Slash. Faced with the massive nightmare beast silhouette, Yi Chen slashed with his sword. On the ground, an incomparably tall peak rose from the ground like a pillar that supported the heavens. In an instant, everyone present was stunned. What they saw was a terrifying scene that could topple heaven and earth. Many people were unable to react in time and fell into the crevice one after another, disappearing without a trace. This apocalyptic scene caused countless beastmen to reveal looks of terror. The outsider before them was like a god of the heavens and earth, unshakable. They had lost all confidence in their chieftain. This was a natural fear when facing a supreme expert. Many of the AO beasts retreated. They could only hope that their chieftain could defeat the person in front of them. Kill! The chief roared and merged with the young beast's silhouette behind him, unleashing incomparably sharp young beast claws. Swish, swish, swish. The sharp claws waved, trying to break through Sky Snake's encirclement. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, sword energy kept shooting out of Sky Snake's mouth. Now that Yi Chen and Sky Snake's consciousness had merged, Sky Snake was like Yi Chen's arm and finger. He could command it at will and use it at any time. Endless sword energy spewed out of Sky Snake's mouth and instantly wrapped around the young beast's silhouette. This caused the young beast to be unable to move and could only spin around in the sword energy. Seeing that he was trapped in the sword array, the young beast chief began to panic. He used his abilities recklessly, even using evil spirit abilities to try and break free. All of this was witnessed by many nightmare beast powerhouses. They gradually realized that their chieftain was actually working with the evil spirits and had even obtained the evil spirit martial art. Heavenly Emperor's Order, Heavenly Sword Destruction. Finding the right opportunity, Yi Chen locked onto the young beast chief's flaw. When the heavenly sword appeared, the universe moved, the sun and moon trembled, and the gods and ghosts grieved. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Sky Snake opened his huge mouth, and the heavenly sword's sword energy turned into a huge pillar of light. It shot out from his mouth and attacked the young beast's silhouette. Rumble! A huge explosion caused the entire void to explode. The previously arrogant young beast's silhouette was completely shattered by the heavenly sword destruction's sword light and turned into dust. The young beast's silhouette dissipated. The chief was continuously attacked by the heavenly sword's sword energy, and his body kept retreating. The pressure from the sword energy continued to rise. The chief's chest was crushed and blood spurted out. The chief lost. Someone shouted. Following that, countless young beasts shouted, "The chief lost." Finally, the sword energy solidified and nailed the young beast chief to the rock wall. He wailed in pain, but no one from the Nightmare Beast clan came to his rescue. Firstly, it was because the chief had been defeated. Secondly, they all understood that the Nightmare Beast celestial master was an evil spirit, and the chief was the one working with the evil spirit. At this moment, the chief looked at the elders in the hall and shouted to save him. The elders were afraid that things would go south, so they attacked. Kill. Boom, boom, boom. Several palm strikes struck and the young beast chief died on the spot. This scene shocked countless young beasts. They did not expect that these elders would personally kill the chief. Yi Chen could tell who these elders were at a glance. They wanted to silence him. "Why aren't you showing yourselves?" "What? Senior, we're all elders of the young beast clan. This is our true appearance." Impudent! Yi Chen was furious. These bastards still dared to refuse to admit it. The heavenly dragon's roar shook the surroundings and instantly locked onto the three elders in front of him. Following that, Sky Snake opened his huge mouth and spat out several rays of light. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Under the light, the three of them had nowhere to hide and turned into evil spirits. "Yi Chen, you deserve to die." The three of them attacked Yi Chen crazily after their identities were exposed. "Ha ha ha, cornered dogs will do desperate things. It's just a few more corpses." Yi Chen laughed maniacally and slashed with the heavenly sword in his hand. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 3 sword gleams streaked across the clear sky. Evil energy could not be hidden, evil energy could not be hidden, and evil heart could not be hidden. 3 heads flew into the sky. The young beast clansmen revealed expressions of shock. "This is a god. This is a god arranged by the heavens to save us," someone shouted. Subsequently, countless young beasts shouted "God." Yi Chen was high and mighty, accepting everyone's worship. Chapter 2083. After killing the 3 hidden evil spirits and the Nightmare Beast clan leader, Yi Chen had completely wiped out the Nightmare Beast clan. Now that everyone had seen through the 3 evil spirit elders, they realized their mistakes and listened to Yi Chen's arrangements, allowing the Nightmare Beast clan to set sail again. "There's no need to send me off. I'm leaving." Yi Chen rode the cosmic sword and flew away. The crowd continued to worship him and even built a statue for him in the clan. After leaving the outskirts of the beast region, Yi Chen realized that the evil spirits had great control over the beast region. It was just as the Nether Purgatory people had said. If one wanted to go to the underworld god temple, one had to go through many trials. After riding the cosmic sword for several days, Yi Chen suddenly sensed a chaotic energy in front of him. It was huge and tangled, giving him a very uneasy feeling. He stood on top of a mountain and looked down at the world below. The 100-Beast Kingdom. Yi Chen's divine telekinesis moved and immediately sensed the name of the vast territory before him. This was the core of the Beast region. Here was the Beast region's imperial city. Before him, in this huge capital city, some kind of ceremony was going on. Such a huge and chaotic energy. If I want to hide here, this is a good place. He looked down and recalled the energy of the various Beast region warriors. He turned into a nightmare beast and walked down. When he arrived outside the capital city, he found that the security here was very strict. To enter the city, one had to show their identity. Yi Chen took out the beast tooth he had obtained from the Nightmare Beast clan and showed it to the guard. This is the token of the Nightmare Beast clan's chief. Are you a Nightmare Beast noble? Yes. Yi Chen replied. Alright, go in. Yi Chen took the beast tooth and entered the capital city. The huge gate of the capital city was like the mouth of a giant beast. The fangs were the gate pillars, releasing waves of majesty that sent chills down one's spine. Walking in, Yi Chen found that there were all kinds of people in the capital city. They were powerhouses from various tribes in the Beast region. They had gathered here at the same time. Combining the scene of the ceremony he had seen before, he felt that something was going to happen here. In order to obtain more information, Yi Chen went directly to the center of the capital city, to a restaurant where many powerhouses had gathered. In this place, he could sense several extremely powerful auras. Sitting in a seat by the window, Yi Chen scanned his surroundings coldly. He discovered that there were many true immortal rank combatants hidden among the drinking crowd. Meanwhile, those people had also sensed Yi Chen's presence. Many of them looked over coldly, and many of them smirked. I didn't expect the Young Beast clan to come to the Imperial City. Could it be that they're also here to participate in this event? The Beast tribe is located in the outer regions of the Beast region. It's the most remote place. The cultivators there are all trash. That's right. The people over there are lacking in cultivation resources. How can they have the face to participate in this event? Hearing these people's words, Yi Chen clearly sensed their malice. They must have looked down on the Young Beast clan. However, this was not what Yi Chen cared about. What he wanted to understand was this so-called festival. Sir, these are the best dishes of our restaurant. Have a taste. At this moment, a waiter from the restaurant came up with wine and dishes. Yi Chen took a glance and realized that his dishes were clearly different from the others. They were not on the same level. Stop. Just when the waiter was about to leave, Yi Chen stopped him. What do you mean? The waiter turned to look at Yi Chen with a smirk. It was obvious that he was provoking Yi Chen. This meant that in his eyes, Yi Chen was also a low-level cultivator who was not worthy of his attention. Yi Chen pointed at the dishes on the table and said, "Why are my dishes different from theirs?" "Haha, what's the difference? They're all dishes." "Ha ha ha." Seeing this scene, many combatants revealed mocking smirk. They wanted to see what the Young Beast clan was capable of. In their eyes, with Yi Chen's status, he should not have appeared in this place. If not for the fact that this was the festival, they would have chased Yi Chen out. Why don't you try it? Kid, we're giving you face, aren't we? Is our high-class restaurant a place where you should come, country bumpkin? Looking at the waiter's arrogant manner, Yi Chen finally realized that ferocious beasts were such a lowly race in the Beast region. However, the other party's provocation was too much. How could Yi Chen tolerate it? If he did not teach him a lesson this time, he would really think that he could ascend to the heavens. Yi Chen stretched out his hand and gently grabbed the air above the dishes. Kacha, kacha, kacha. Instantly, the plates and bowls, as well as the various dishes, were all crushed into a ball. You're courting death. The waiter instantly went berserk. To be able to open a restaurant here, one must have an extraordinary background. Moreover, these waiters were all itinerant immortals. Boom! The man's eyes widened and he attacked Yi Chen with a punch. This punch carried a powerful force. This force was very primitive, as if it was instinctive. Yi Chen's demon eyes opened and instantly recognized this person. The bearman! Roar! The man roared angrily and threw a punch. It was like an entire mountain attacking Yi Chen. The surrounding combatants sneered. They thought that this punch could completely crush Yi Chen. Clang! However, just as everyone was about to drink and watch the show, the waiter's punch stopped a foot away from Yi Chen. The waiter roared angrily and wanted to throw another punch. However, he could no longer move forward even an inch. His fist gleam had been blocked by Yi Chen's palm. Not only was it blocked, but it was also countered. He could not leave even if he wanted to. How did you do that? The bearman shouted in a trembling voice. Ha, what did I do? A piece of trash like you dares to attack me? As he spoke, there was a boom and the bearman's face was directly pressed onto the table, fusing with the dishes and the shattered plates. Ah! The bearman could not stop screaming like a chicken. Seeing this scene, everyone revealed a solemn expression. Many of them locked their cold gazes on Yi Chen, feeling puzzled. What's wrong with this kid? He subdued the bearman so easily. It can't be. Isn't the Nightmare Beast clan very useless? What's wrong with this kid? Just as everyone was discussing, Yi Chen pressed the bearman's face and kept crushing the broken porcelain pieces. The bearman's face was beyond recognition and he was in extreme pain. Clatter, clatter, clatter! At this moment, dozens of bearman guards rushed out and surrounded Yi Chen. How dare a piece of trash from the Nightmare Beast clan cause trouble in our Golden Eagle restaurant? Let him go and kneel down to confess. The leader of the bearmen shouted angrily at Yi Chen. At this moment, the bearman could not breathe from Yi Chen's crushing. His mouth was filled with crushed food and plates. He was in extreme pain. Chapter 2084. Let him go or we'll attack. The bearman leader shouted at Yi Chen fiercely. Clearly, he had reached his limit. Yi Chen did not care at all. With a sudden grab, the bearman from before was caught. His mouth was full of broken plates as he whimpered in a sorry state. Seeing this scene, the leader of the Black Bear tribe was enraged. This was a great insult to the Black Bear tribe. How could he endure such a thing? You're courting death. Dozens of Bear tribe warriors surrounded Yi Chen in the middle, their faces filled with malice. Meanwhile, the people who were drinking around them began to watch the show. In such a troublesome place, there would be conflicts every day. There would even be people being carried out every day or worse, being chopped up and fed to the dogs. Dozens of strong men charged at Yi Chen at the same time. Each of them extended their sharp claws that contained great power. Within an extremely small area, they could explode with super strength that could tear everything apart. This was the characteristic of the bear tribe. Roar! At this moment, a powerful heavenly emperor's dragon chi suddenly erupted from Yi Chen's body. The bear men who wanted to kill him earlier felt their bodies go out of control and were sent flying like kites with their strings cut. Boom, boom, boom! Kacha, kacha, kacha! Many bearman warriors were slammed into the surrounding walls like dough, their faces filled with pain. It was a spectacular scene. The surrounding people were shocked when they saw this. It was already a miracle that Yi Chen could crush the waiter with his own strength. Now, he could send dozens of bearman warriors who were stronger than the previous one flying with a single roar. It did not make sense at all. In their eyes, the Young Beast clan was a bunch of cowards. Every time they came to the Imperial City, they would walk close to the corners. How could there be someone like Yi Chen? This had completely shattered their understanding. Many powerhouses even had the urge to fight Yi Chen. After all, this was the Beast Imperial City. Those who could establish a foothold here were the elites of their respective tribes. Naturally, their desire to fight was different from ordinary people. How's the taste? At this moment, Yi Chen asked the waiter. Woo woo, the waiter could not help stuttering. His mouth was full of porcelain shards. There was fear in his eyes when he looked at Yi Chen. He no longer had any arrogance. Clang! Yi Chen's palm energy moved swiftly and slapped the waiter's back. All the dishes and porcelain pieces exploded at once. Cough, cough, cough. The bearman could not stop coughing. The bearman leader gave him a look. The bearman understood and turned around to punch Yi Chen's face. Clang! Gotcha! Under everyone's shocked gazes, Yi Chen blocked the bearman's fist again. Subsequently, Yi Chen grabbed with brute force and the sound of bones being crushed rang out in the air. Ah! A painful cry resounded through the entire restaurant. The bearman's fist was completely shattered. Ah! Now, everyone finally understood how powerful Yi Chen was. The way many people looked at Yi Chen had completely changed. Many of them were shocked and some were cold. However, they began to take Yi Chen seriously. The person before them was completely different from the average nightmare beast. This had become a common understanding among the crowd. Not only is this person arrogant, but his strength is also extraordinary. He doesn't seem like someone from the nightmare beast race at all. Just what is going on? Now Yi Chen had become mysterious in everyone's eyes. Just the fact that he dared to smash the Golden Eagle restaurant's signboard was shocking enough. At the same time, the bearman leader revealed a trembling expression. Previously, he thought that a nightmare beast like Yi Chen could be casually killed and thrown out. He did not expect that not only did he not hurt Yi Chen at all, but his people were also sent flying, screaming incessantly. Why you dare to cause trouble in the Golden Eagle restaurant? Do you know the consequences? Consequences? What consequences? All I know is that you've angered me. That's the ultimate consequence. Yi Chen's eyes emitted the most terrifying light that could take one's life. When the bearman leader saw Yi Chen's eyes, the deepest part of his soul trembled. It was as if he saw the heavenly emperor standing in front of him, and he was just an ant, dragging out an ignoble existence. Clang! His legs turned to jelly and he knelt on the ground. The crowd could not understand. No matter what, the bearman leader was a noble of the bearman tribe. How could he kneel before Yi Chen? More importantly, no one knew why he knelt. A terrifying atmosphere pervaded the place. All of you, come here and kowtow to this lord and admit your mistakes. The bearman leader's actions confused the crowd even more. Not only did he kneel, but he even ordered his subordinates to kneel before Yi Chen. Such behavior was unbelievable. Thud, thud, thud. The bearmen who were sent flying did not dare to have any other thoughts. They all came over and knelt before Yi Chen, kowtowing and admitting their mistakes. Sir, we had eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. Please spare our lives. Under the bearman leader's lead, everyone knelt and begged for mercy. The scene at the scene was like a fantasy beyond their imagination. Ah! Yi Chen laughed maniacally and stepped on the bearman leader's head. Then, he looked at the people around him and revealed a cold smile. The surrounding combatants stood up one after another. They clearly felt Yi Chen's provocation. They did not expect a nightmare beast to be so arrogant. If they did not respond, would they not be admitting defeat? D****. Before they could do anything, a cold shout suddenly rang out in the air, followed by the cry of an eagle. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A gust of cold wind blew and everyone retreated. They had already sensed an extremely strong murderous aura in the air. Those who frequented the tavern knew that this was the Eagle clan's god of slaughter, Ice Hawk. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. His figure sped forward, and before he could blink, his sharp claws had already struck. Swish, swish, swish. Following that, a few streaks of blood splattered into the sky. The dozens of bearmen froze on the spot, then their eyes widened and they fell to the ground one after another. As the saying went, blood sealed the throat. Although the bearmen had a higher status than the Nightmare Beast clan, they were still a lowly tribe in the imperial city. Many of them were used as servants and slaves. No one cared about their lives. Do you know who you are to cause trouble in my Golden Eagle Tower? At this moment, a tall, thin man appeared in front of them. His hands were still stained with the blood of the dozens of bearmen, dripping to the ground. Seeing this scene, everyone thought that Yi Chen was dead for sure. This brat dares to cause trouble in the Golden Eagle Tower. Icehawk will kill him for sure. Ha, the Nightmare Beast clan deserves to die. Let's see what cruel method Icehawk will use to torture him to death. The surrounding people revealed their sinister smiles, waiting to see a good show.